Hey, welcome back to Metropole Grid. My name is Andre. How's everyone doing? It is currently the 17th of September. I'm guessing 17th of September. And welcome back. How y'all doing? I moved my audio meters. I think I fixed the audio, so this should be a smooth transition out. You don't even have to bring any attention to it. That's perfect, isn't it? I'm gonna mash that button until it's gone. How's everyone doing? We have a exciting couple weeks of Netrunner coming up, huh? Some news from Nisei, huh? How's everyone doing? Hector, how's it going? Welcome. I need more in broad daylight and crisis management agendas in my life. You like the bad pub or the meat damage? I take it's the meat damage. It's usually the meat damage. Ezra also, how's it going? Aloha. Yo, how are you doing? Welcome. Baza, yo, how are you doing? Happy Thursday to you as well. Bloom also, woot woot, howdy, hey. Welcome to a stream. We're going to do some talking at the top of this stream because we have some news to go through. There's been changes. There's Worlds announcements, which Worlds is very, very soon. It's like frighteningly soon to the point where I'm not in the proper mindset, I don't think. It is currently, let's look at the calendar. World starts on like the 8th, and it is in 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks And that's pretty soon on. We have some changes to the meta that are going to take place just before Worlds. I have no doubt everyone's playing with them now. Also, big shout out. I'm going to repeat this again later on in the stream, but this Saturday, we're going to be starting at about 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be like watchable if you're not in North America. Pat, I, and Nemec are going to be playing with more Nemec cards. Again, these are custom cards that Nemec has built. They have built a bunch more. They've tuned some cards. So we're going to be playing some games using that custom card set this Saturday. Hopefully you can drop on by. Obviously chat will be up and we'll have a good time. Otherwise the VOD, I hope you'll like it. But that's this Saturday. Otherwise we got to do more streams because we got to prepare for Worlds. We're going to jump right into the news. Hector saying the damage cards that don't really instant flatline the runner. Yeah, those cards are always just annoying, aren't they? I don't know if they've ever worked out, but I know people like them a lot. There's that one like outfit deck that we played against that just kind of burns slowly through you and surprisingly gets a flatline maybe. Yo, Giles, how's it going? Hey fam, how you doing? Yo, also on the Twitch side, apparently Twitch has started rolling out ads that will play in the middle of the stream in a way that, if you haven't seen it, is incredibly obnoxious. I don't know how many ads y'all see on Twitch. I generally see an ad when I open a channel. So do let me know if sometime during this broadcast, if you are watching live on Twitch, whether you get an ad in the middle of it, because that is fascinating and seems like a terrible practice, but I understand it makes people money, not me. That's okay. No ads. Let's go. All right. Much ado about Worlds. We got a lot of news. This just came out. Austin posted this a couple days ago. If you don't know about it, Netrunner Worlds was meant to be earlier this year in Toronto, which was a very big deal for somebody who grew up outside of Toronto and lives not that many hours away. We were really excited to go down and meet our friends from Ontario and the Canadian meta and have a Worlds that's kind of in our backyard. But of course, it's online now, which has some good benefits to it. Largely, it is super accessible for just about everybody. We've had, or Nisei's had specifically, I guess the community too, has enjoyed a lot of really good, well-run, exciting tournaments. They've had good broadcasts too, if you're not playing, if you want to watch. And I'm of no doubt that this is just going to push that bar up even further. So Worlds is in just 3 weeks. Never seen midstream ads. That's gross. Oh, it's really bad. You'll see it. It's great. It's fantastic. Bane, how's up? I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, let me know because I have no control over it. I really don't. Andre with me. How you doing, bud? How's it been? It's been a while. Ezra says I haven't been paying attention to news at all. Oh, okay. Nisei news or just news? But anyways, this is Worlds. It is starting really soon. That's some new art. This is not Gabe. Notice that this man has both of his hands or both of his arms, which is not a Gabe thing. We'll get to that in a second. The World Championship will be occurring entirely online over the 9th, 10th, and 11th of October. So that's only in 3 weeks. Now, what is kind of a bummer, and I know scheduling is very difficult, is the 9th, 10th, and 11th does take place during Canadian Thanksgiving on that weekend. So in some ways it's good because Monday is a holiday in Canada, but for some people doing stuff with families, that might be a bit unfortunate, but I imagine majority of people that's not an issue. Also, it's like kind of difficult. I don't know this year what I'm up to. I doubt I can see my family and travel and do all that stuff. So whatever, we'll be playing some Netrunner, I guess. But anyways, that's coming up real soon. It'll occur via Jinteki.net, so the website we normally play on, and communication will be on the Nisei Discord server. If you click there, you get through to a link, and that's awesome. There's 2 days, and this is really cool. A lot of Worlds, there used to be 2 days, so now there are 2 days, and the timing and the scheduling is a bit different. There's one day that is just better scheduling for North and South America. Just the time zones make a lot more sense, and then the second day makes more sense if you are in Europe or Africa. If you're in Asia, I guess you have 2 compromises, but what can you do? So make sure you join into whichever one makes sense. Again, if you are in North and South America, you don't have to play in day 1 if day 1B makes more sense. Unfortunately, day 1A is on a Friday. I've already taken that time off work. I do have that privilege, but I know not everyone can have that. So maybe we'll just see a lot more people in day 1B regardless of the scheduling. We've arranged time zones for all 3 days to best see the majority of attendees. Again, there will be a day after this where you play the finals, and there's side tournaments and stuff like that, which is exciting. Check-in times for both day 1A and 1B are also noted in AWST to help those out in Asia Pacific. The format seems to be pretty standard if you're used to Netrunner stuff. 65-minute rounds with a 35-minute break between rounds 4 and 5. I'm assuming that we'll get around 6 rounds. It depends how many people sign up, of course. We expect this to take about 9 hours. So I don't know whether that's a conservative estimate or not. I guess that would be like 7 rounds, 9 hours maybe, give or take. So plan accordingly. Like previous virtual events, we'll need to check in via the Discord server. Bottom of the article says Toronto 2021. Yeah, Eli, I heard. I hope that they do commit to that. That'd be really exciting. Any words on why they're planning to have Worlds 2021? Yeah, Andre, exactly. That's exactly it. 1B starts at like 7 p.m. for AEST. Still pretty rough. Oof. 1 a.m. is 4 a.m. 1A is 4 a.m. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not great, but what can you do? That reminds me that I need to book the Friday off. Yeah, grab it off if you can. Even if you're not playing. Maybe it's good watching. I've no doubt. Well, I'm pretty sure this is going to be streamed, which is pretty exciting. Now, some cool things. Tickets are on sale now and may be purchased at the link below. Where is the link? Buy your tickets now. The ticket price is $35 US. Now, that is technically the most accessible Worlds has ever been, considering majority of people didn't classically live in Minnesota, or I forget where it was last year in Europe. But that's not bad. That cost goes to prize support. Generally, there's some pretty generous prize support, and it needs to be mailed to you, which is, again, more money. So also the money, I have no doubt, goes back into Nisei and helps support the community and what they do. Again, they're all volunteers, so that's fantastic. Also, once you submit a deck list, you can't change it. So be careful when you submit deck lists. I have seen people get tournament losses or like round losses because they've goofed their deck list. So be careful. Registration form can be found here. And then the day 2 is Sunday 11. I don't know what is this in Eastern Standard? We're on the East Coast here. It starts at 7 a.m. in the morning. That's fantastic. That's perfectly fine. Final day of culmination events with a single tiebreaker round of required and a cut to top 16, and we'll have some competitive Netrunner. There's also side events. There's going to be other side events, standard, core experience, eternal, draft. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We encourage streamers who want to cover these events to reach out projectnisei@gmail.com. There's also doing after parties and socializing, which I find so adorable. They're going to be doing Jackbox party games. They're going to be doing Netrunner trivia via Kahoot, which is some sort of trivia app. And let me tell you this, like, two things. Firstly, if you're watching this and you've never been involved in organized play, I really highly recommend it. It's not the same in person, obviously, but the fact that you're doing this on Discord, you can go into a voice channel, talk to your opponent, have fun. But it's really cool. A lot of people will be playing. A lot of people will be coming out. And sure, it might sound like the most competitive event ever. It has the title of the Worlds, but like, legitimately, not everyone who's at these tournaments is playing hyper competitively. In fact, I would say the majority of people that show up to tournaments are just there to have organized play and have fun. Again, if you are intimidated, maybe reach out, ask some questions, get whatever you need to get comfortable about this, but like, really do play. Sure, maybe first round you get rocked when you play against a world champion from 2 years ago, but after that, your pairings will get more equal. Basically, you get paired with somebody who has the same, like, who's doing just as well as you, so you'll find somebody who's just as good or bad at Netrunner you. It's a really good time, and this is why I'm excited about the side events thing, because so much of Netrunner Worlds is not entirely even playing the Netrunner game. It's going to a place with people that care about the same thing that you care about, and that sort of energy is like super infectious. So having this sort of like after parties and socializing, these things where like you give that sort of opportunity for people to hang out and meet other people that give a shit about this thing that you care about is fantastic, and it's really, really cool. And it's probably the most exciting part about World. So that's awesome. That's huge. I'm really glad that that's happening. Okay, editor's note. Oh, this is actually pretty fun. This was added later. The system update IDs offered as prizes are not current in standard legal set, because there's 2 IDs that are from Terminal Directive that have rotated and haven't been inside the standard format for a while now. They are also not legal for this event, and also Ken Tenma is not legal for core experience side events. It's not okay. Cool. Anyways, that's good. That's really good stuff. Worlds is soon. It's $35 US if you want to jump in. I highly recommend you to. It will be streamed. You can watch it. There's side events. There's a lot of things to do. Again, even if you get like horribly knocked out of what do you think day 1 is, there's so many other things to do. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So many people in this community, let alone myself, have been to a lot of events, and let me tell you, there's a reason why people are so excited for this stuff. Ezra says I usually crash and burn Netrunner tournaments. Oh, no way. Oof. Why do you say that? Fatigue or stress? Ezra also says to enter, you must buy $200 plane ticket and post a picture of it on Discord. You can't let everyone in, right? Are you playing or commentating? That's the most question. I think the only chance to get anywhere near the cut is the submarine super hard. I am going, so I've reached out to Nisei. Nisei is definitely looking for a commentary, but nothing's been formalized so far. If I had a choice, I would definitely do commentary over playing. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy commentary a lot. It's a lot of fun for me. So honestly, if that's an opportunity, I'll definitely do that. If not, I'll play. But I would prioritize commentating. It's a lot of fun. Jester, how's it going? Netrunner draft is the most fun experience. There's so many cool sub formats in a Netrunner. Draft is like a really cool one, especially at Worlds. Like people will bring their own cubes or even original Netrunner, and draft is a lot of fun to watch. Eon's Metropole Pog, how's it going? Welcome. Awesome, your commentary's top tier. Oh, thanks, Chris. Hey, cheers, appreciate it. How you doing? Yeah, I'm hoping we'll hear soon. I've no doubt Nisei will announce more about the stream and what they're doing. But like so far, the production values that they've been having, that Vesper has been doing over the last couple intercontinentals and continentals has been absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited for the stream, regardless of my involvement. My first tournament, I got a 4th out of 12. I got a mat. Heck yeah! Congrats. Nisei would be insane not to offer you primary Giles, thank you. Yeah, we'll see. The thing is, like, it's a thing a lot of people want to get involved in, and I want to, like, I get nervous that I'm taking up too much space, because like I'm totally aware that like there's a lot of people jumping in and jumping off of commentary, and I'm always there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe people need to kick me out at some point. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'd be excited to do it for sure. Talking about it coming forth and getting a mat. I love this. There's so much cool prize support. A lot of cards that we haven't seen this new art that's been commissioned for Worlds. And I really like the structure too. This was something that was, I believe on the ShadowNet podcast, they were talking about how because I wasn't that savvy with it, but the prize support for Continentals was really cool. The idea for the prize support is that in a Netrunner tournament, a win is worth 3 points. So no matter how poorly or how well you do, if you get in through the whole day 30 points, you can get the liberated accounts, 3 of, and everything below it. So it really encourages you to play to win to some extent, even if you're not doing well. It gives you something to work at, and I love that. I think that's one of my favorite things, that going to tournament is basically building your own goal. Like coming into Worlds and saying, I want to win Worlds. That might be some people's realistic goals, but for some people it's just like, I want to get those biovolts. I'd like those biovolts. And then they're just aiming to get 24 points, which is probably achievable. Top half also, faction dice, top 32. There's some cool prizes here. The playmat's great. That's a lot of like really cool art and depictions of Netrunner characters we've seen for a long time. But I also like that all of these are pretty good staple cards that I think anybody would be excited to get more copies of. Things like Zero, Project Atlas Biovault, Liberated Count, Logic Bomb, Border Control. It's good stuff. If you participate, you get 3 border controls and 3 career fairs. Sign me up. That's great. Phil, no one listens to that, Phil. How's it going, dude? The new art is amazing, but the IDs are next level. Yeah, they are really great. They're really, really good. It's worth shouting out. There's acrylic IDs behind here. We got Quetzal, who is awesome. It's awesome to see Quetzal, another depiction of a Quetzal in alt art, or basically anything else. I think we've only seen Quetzal in a couple cards. And we have Steve Cambridge, and Isla Bios Rahim. And maybe I need to read further, but these IDs are not tournament legal. They're not standard legal right now, but it seems that these might be coming back either in the future, in the new system core, or sometime being rotated back into standard. I'm assuming that's what this is saying. Again, it's important to know that they're not legal for this tournament, but that means they might be coming. Have I missed something in the article that suggests even stronger than that? The only times I had a deck, I really practiced around for face person to Dan Dargenio. It's a good person to play against. You learn a lot very quickly. I love how Steve, Bios, etc. are all grown up. Yeah, they are. They really are. How's it going, Chaz? Bios and Steve are confirmed in system update. Heck yes. That's really cool. People were talking about that before, about whether Steve could come back specifically. And maybe with the events being not as, I don't know, ban apocalypse. Just joined. Sounds like you have to decide between commentary and playing. Can't do both. Is that right? Yeah, Thanos, how's it going? There was a question about that, specifically what I'm interested in doing. Skip on, thank you. Jal says I'm aiming for faction dice. Heck yeah, top half. It's all you got to do, and it's per day, right? It's not top half of everybody. I don't think that changes anything. Whatever. Cool. There's also side events that have some really good prize support too. Like if you want to play in the standard side event, there's a Vitruvius or Hostile Takeover participation. You just participate in the tournament. You can get some Hostile Takeovers that Akira's drawn up. The side events, this is the core experience. There's Inside Job, and then there's IDs for Ken, Kit, and Reina. I want to see more of that Kit art. That Kit art looks awesome. Yeah, there's Kit. Grown up too, huh? We also have the Eternal, which is a format that plays cards that you might not play in a long time. The fact that we have an alt art indexing or Sansan City Grid is so wild. I love the flavor text on that indexing. And then there's also a draft tournament where you can get a Stargate and a slot machine. Really great cards. You definitely want a lot of those. Buy your Worlds tickets now. We'll see you all there as the star aligns, if the stars align in Toronto in 2021. So 2021, also going to be exciting. But anyways, this is great. It's going to be fantastic. Again, I can't shout out enough how much like obvious work that goes into this. An online tournament has to be run really well when it comes to the world stakes. It has to be presented well, and I have no doubt Issei is going to be doing a great job, considering they've been doing a great job so far with all of the last tournaments that we've had over the last couple months. So that's fantastic. Buy your Worlds tickets now. Book your dates off. $35 US. Online event, hashtag card games. Again, this is from the 9th to the 11th. Again, that is Thanksgiving Day weekend in Canada. Hopefully that lines up not too poorly. I don't know. It's kind of hard to do things, but we'll get there. Have you looked at the Reboot project? Yeah, Ezra, I have. We played, I actually kind of consistently play Jumpstart with my brother who hasn't played Netrunner in a long time. I like it a lot. It's cool. Let's come on, what up? Can't wait to play BIOS again, but I'm effing terrified of Sansan rotation. A lot of my pet green cards in there. Yeah, Sansan rotation is going to be a big one for sure. All right. That's awesome. I'm really excited for this. Again, this is only 3 weeks away. And if you want to know what the decks are going to look like, we've also have really big news if you haven't heard. And that's to do with an update to the standard ban list. So we've had some pretty big shakeups to the meta just a bit before Worlds. I think last year, it was like a month before Worlds, and they released the like booster pack. I forget what they called it, but it was basically like 7 cards from the upcoming cycle that wasn't unfortunately going to come out before Worlds, and they wanted to shake up the meta. If you don't know, we haven't made a video about this, but a ban list is the replacement for the most wanted list. In organized play, again, if you're playing in organized play and in standard format and in tournaments, these are the rules that you have to follow. If you're playing like tabletop Netrunner, you don't have to listen to any of this. That's always really important to understand. But if you want to play at Worlds in the standard tournament, these rules you have to follow. And there's a ban list. Classically, this was a most wanted list, which was a list of cards that were either banned from the format or restricted, it meant that you could only have 1 card in your deck per name on the restricted list. But they've simplified it, and now they just have a ban list. So basically, it's a list of cards that you can't play in the standard format, and it's pretty simple. You're not going to see any of this demarcation on the cards themselves because they can change. But if you read this list, you kind of have to internalize it at some point. But the only changes that have happened, it's very simple changes, but probably pretty meaningful. And I want to spend some time talking about it. But 3 new cards have been banned that you're not going to see at Worlds. And a lot of them have been pretty solid staples for a while. As long as they've come out, they've had a huge impact on the meta. And 1 new card that was just printed a couple months ago, or whenever the last data, whatever Nisei thing came out, which is actually a while ago now, right? And we're going to talk about it first. On the corp side, we have a banned SSL endorsement. Ooh, SSL endorsement honestly might be the most popular corp card in every corp deck if you look at the meta on a whole, besides hedge fund. I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think that might be correct. I have no numbers to prove that, but I'm pretty sure that this is the most common card amongst all corp decks outside of hedge fund. Right? Rip SSL and Pat Tap. So glad Gold Farmer bit the dust. Yeah, Gold Farmer is interesting, right? Is Gold Farmer the first banned Nisei card? Eli asks. No, I think it's the second. Kayambe Grid got banned. I might be missing another one. We can check the list. Yo, Cody, what's up? Can't watch today. Just popping to say what's up. Yo, how you doing, bud? Hype for Worlds and new bands. Hell yeah. I'm interested to hear what you think about the meta, Cody. I'd love to hear it. Rashid and Jackson. Oh yeah. Rashid and NGO front are probably. No, you're right. Rashid and NGO front are more common than SSL. Okay. I stand corrected. You're definitely correct about that. Patap, because every MWL ban list must include Crim Econ. I hate seeing this trend continue. But it's not only Crim Econ. Like, that card was one influence. It was everybody's Econ to some extent. Crim has so much Econ and Patap. Sengrin, how's it going? It can be super oppressive. It really can. It really can. My parents will be in town during Worlds. Would it be bad for to sign up and not play just to get the participation cards? Chris, I don't know. Probably? I'm not actually sure. Hey, Andre, sorry I'm late. Was on a phone call with a rental agency to talk about our lease application. Oh, good luck with the lease, eh? Jason says Rashida. Yeah, I think Rashida's right. I think SSL is more popular than NGO. I think Rashida's more popular than NGO, yeah. Okay, so SSL got banned. And why it got banned, I think it addresses 2 big problems. First big problem is 3-point agenda decks. We've seen so many of them recently. Decks that just run only 3-point agendas. And it kind of I don't know. It slows down the game in a certain way. It makes Glacier strats probably a bit better. This is not sounding too intelligent. But it makes like single accesses, it makes the agenda densities really low. So like accesses off central servers at a lot of points in the game, single accesses are not even that good. It also changes what sort of multi-access we've seen. Like anything that, I don't know, it makes you see a lot more people value things like Stargate, I think, over R&D interface, just because a Stargate run is going to be effective no matter what, where if you run like an R&D interface or a Maker's Eye, there's a bigger chance it's not going to happen. Maker's Eye has been making a comeback. But SSL endorsement is a really big deal because we've been seeing so many decks that are running either 7 agenda points, or in some case we also saw a lot of decks that are running only 6 agenda points by running only 3-pointers. There was a big problem prior to this, which was what is that thing called that was now banned? What's the NBN identity that's banned? I haven't said it. I haven't said it in a while. I've forgotten it. It's one. Oh boy. What's the NBN identity that's banned, y'all? 3-point corps are boring? Yeah, they can be. There's not too much going on. We'll find it. Asmari. Asmari. 6-second delay on chat. Don't worry, that'll be painful to watch. Asmari EdTech, this was a big problem. So Asmari EdTech is a 40-card deck, and yellow NBN has a really good agenda suite when it comes to running 3-point agendas. It's very, very, very brutal. This deck would be running 3 SSLs, 3 SSL endorsements, and then running 3 Bologna, another incredibly strong 5-3 agenda that's defensive and offensive in some ways for yellow. And that agenda suite is really, really, really good. It was one of the big strengths of Asmari, is that you could run 6 agendas, all 3 of them were good for you if scored or stolen, and you're not running a lot of agendas. Now, after that, Asmari was banned, so people are trying to run the same agenda suite out of sync, but also they moved on to GameNet, and instead of running maybe 6 agendas, now they have to run 7. So they just put in whatever 3-pointer or a naked Beal or whatever they want from that point. That's really hard. It's really hard to deal with that without dealing with something like Bologna. Before that, like that agenda suite existed before, but without like Bologna, it was like SSL and re-education program, or not re-education program, whatever the other one was called, where you have to like, not re-education has been showing up. That's not even, this one is showing up, but that other one, degree mill, yeah. Anywho, they were running the suite before, and now the 3-point agenda suite for NBN kind of got way out of hand. And losing SSL is a really big deal for it. Losing SSL also is losing SSL to some ways I find kind of a bummer too, because I really like cards like this abstractly. We haven't been doing too much of that, but on this channel recently, we used to do a lot more of this, but we would run decks that are kind of silly and not good. And why I love cards like SSL endorsement is that you can put them into your deck and you can kind of ensure that it gives you enough money to do something, so you're not totally locked out of the game. Like the runner steals this in the early game, you get 9 credits, you're not actually that bummed out about that, and that's a really big deal. There's so many bad HB decks that we've been making in the last couple years where it's just like, oh, they stole 2 SSL endorsements, we got 18 credits, that's good enough for us to do our thing. I really always liked economy cards that would allow you to be more flexible, and this card does so much in a little slot, right? Like it's, if you put 3 of them into your deck, that's potentially 18 credits, even more, and it is 9 agenda points and 3 cards, which is good. It buys you card slots, it gives you economy without doing anything else, it gives you economy when you try scoring out or when you're getting stomped. It's good stuff, and it's probably a bit too good. It is probably a bit too good, and this rotating means that the amount of like really good, I don't think there's a good neutral 5-3 anymore. It's going to really change what sort of decks you play. I'm pretty sure with this rotating, we're going to see a lot more of this, huh? Right? SSL warps the meta so much, it's so much free money for every corp. Jank glue. Yeah, Sangrin calls it jank glue, and I totally agree with that. I kind of like jank glue. I really do. But at the point it's like in every corp deck that's running a 3-point agenda suite, it has to probably be looked at. Now, Global Food Initiative used to be like that. It used to be an agenda that was in every deck just because it was such a big deal, and then people would only play 2-pointers because 2-pointers work really well with Global Food Initiative. It forces the runner to steal 4 agendas while you score 3 out. You see, this card's been restricted forever. This card is no longer restricted because there are no restricted cards, so maybe this will come back in a big way. Another card that we kind of saw that was, I don't know if it was entirely comparable to SSL endorsement, but classically NAP D contract was such a good neutral agenda that people would in some decks even play this over whatever they have in faction just because it was like pretty great. I think SSL is way better than that. I think SSL was a really big change to the meta because it was a 3-point agenda that people were excited to put in their decks at a time where 3-point agendas weren't that exciting. And I think it's done a lot of work, but it might have gone a bit too far. And now we've lost it. And that's actually a really big deal because it changes what agenda suites and basically what agenda suites I think are going to be competitive. And if we look into that, it's going to be kind of a big deal. Yo, David, how's it going? How you been? Alan says, I feel like Bologna is worse for the meta than SSL IMO. Although SSL is too generically good, it was always a nice deck glue. Yeah, I feel that. And that's like kind of a big issue is like Bologna and SSL in the same deck. Buck wild. But one of them on their own, maybe not as bad. But Bologna is incredibly strong. It's totally true. Especially in a world without Film Critic, right? Don't let your kids sniff the jank glue. Yo, pick one. What's up? Looks like we're back to running priority requisition, Kappa. Cody's saying CST, Cyberdex, and GFI looking good these days. Yeah, they really are. They really, really are. Corporate sales team looks so much better without Pat-Tap, but we'll get to that in a second. And APD and Reboot is good. 3 credits to steal and 2 to advance if you have BP. 2 to advance? I didn't realize that. Wow. Yo, Martin, what's up? Krabs also. Hey, SSL and Jank wasn't the problem, but it was sick in the tryhard decks. It was really, really good. Like, okay, let's look at some deck lists. Let's look at competitive deck lists over the last while and see which ones are infected by these changes. I think any of the ASA decks they don't care, right? Because they're running Global Food Initiative and then they're running a very minimalist, if we want to call that, agenda suite because they're usually running Lakshmi Smart Fabric. So they don't care. They really don't care. But let's look at the other decks. There's so many decks. SSL is just in every, like SSL was a big part of so many archetypes. So, okay. All the GameNet Glacier decks were generally running 3 SSL, 3 Bologna. Now, what are they going to do at this point? Can they still run another 3-pointer here? Probably not. This deck obviously has other issues with the ban list that I don't know if it's that exciting to play anymore, but this list might want to do 3 foods and then 2-pointers, like the standard list, the standard sort of agenda suite that we've seen for a long time in like old HB decks, like 4 years ago. The idea is like 2 foods, and then like 7 2-pointers. Maybe that's something you can do. Maybe you can be a bit more aggressive with your scores. Maybe you do more agendas that do something good when you score them so you can continue that tempo. But this agenda suite seems really a lot worse when you have to replace your SSL endorsements for like Degree Mill or something like that. What else falls apart? SSL showed up slightly in some of the like Ag Infusion and Polana lists. Some of them were running like not even running SSL. They were running like what's it called? Obokata Protocol on top of Nise's or Cyberdex. Some of them are running Global Food Initiative. So the sort of Jinteki archetype I don't think is too bad. Some of the other Jinteki archetypes, the ones that are trying to kill you, that were running maybe like Obokata and Complete Image. No, I don't think those are running SSL, so that's fine. Okay, I think Argus doesn't care. Argus wasn't running SSL, but a lot of the outfit decks were. A lot of the outfit decks were running, I don't know if we can find the competitive outfit decks from Continentals, but they were running like, 3 CityWorks Project 3 SSL endorsement, right? And that agenda suite gets a lot weirder. You could run food. It doesn't help you too much considering you're running other 3-pointers, so I don't know what they do. Is there any other good 5-3 Wayland agenda? I don't think so. So yeah, outfit getting nerfed really hard. Giles says in chat too. That's a weird issue. They have to figure out how to do that. What happens when you lose SSL in that deck? Let's go through the other factions. Again, HB, we have been seeing some of the big 5-3 agenda decks that are running things like Jinja City Grid, the more Glacier stuff, not specifically Asa. Some of those are also punitive. That list loses a lot of money. That deck doesn't have a lot of money, and SSL represented a lot of money in that list. Punitive also like just loves SSL endorsement inherently, and that's gone. What other archetypes? Yeah, and Wayland, Fast Advance Titan doesn't care. Outfit, that's a pretty big hit. Argus generally plays Global Food Initiative. That doesn't matter. In yellow, CTM doesn't really play SSL, would rather play Bologna, I reckon. Yeah, definitely. And then like the Glacier archetypes, they're going to have issues with that for sure. Maybe they have to go to something that's more mid-range, which is kind of fascinating. On top of that, we have, that's H. Wayland, and the last one is Jinteki. Some Jinteki decks run SSL, I don't know. I think some Polana lists were running SSL instead of Obo. Yeah, I think the ones that we recently saw at Continentals were maybe running 1 SSL, but I think a lot of them just had Obo as a defensive agenda and didn't care. But yeah, I could see them running SSL as well. Obviously, 9 credits is sick. It's very interesting. It's obviously like a big change to the agenda suites that are playable, because losing a good 3-pointer means that you can't run that like 7 agenda suite too competitively. And so I think you're going to see a lot more people playing 2-pointers and Global Food Initiative, and that's going to make a really big change. I honestly don't know which faction has, if you had to put together a 7 agenda suite, which faction can do it well out of only 3-pointers? I don't think any. And that's such a big deal. Like, you just need to find 2 good 3-pointers in faction, and I don't think anybody has it anymore. And again, you could always play Global Food Initiative, but Global Food Initiative just isn't a great card when it comes to 3-pointers, because generally they win in 3 agendas unless they steal all 3 Global Food Initiatives, which is pretty unlikely. Yeah. The big reaction online that I've read has been that Asa hasn't really been hurt by the ban list and maybe need to be. Any thoughts? So I think that's something that's actually been addressed in this list. There are no hits to the Asa group deck, which emerged as some of the top corps over the course of the top 5 major tournaments under the prior ban list. Despite their competitive success, we don't believe any of the various different Asa decks have proven to be problematic. Moreover, the bans targeting GameNet will allow runners to better tailor the decks to counter Asa, thereby curbing its dominance. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That might be true to some extent. The thing is, like, in our meta, in the last meta that I saw, it was like, do you want to get a deck that's really aggressive and really fast that can deal with like Asa that sets up so incredibly quickly and pressures you in so many directions to like get accesses, deal with ice and trash things? Or do you want to be able to deal with like that Glacier game net that goes 55 minutes and you need a Caddy Jones or you lose to some extent? To some extent, that's true. Like, that Glacier game net deck isn't gonna exist. I don't think. We might see another faction take up that mantle. Maybe we'll see something else slow and dirtily that can get some late game Embolus lockout. We're looking at you, Earth Station. But I don't know. I honestly I couldn't tell you, but there's a chance there that maybe you don't have to build against pure Glacier. But that Asa deck is hella good, that's for sure. David says, great, thanks. Between Nisei and life, I'm very busy but doing all right. Excited to see all the world's prep. Oh, I'm so stoked for Worlds, David. I'm so stoked. Mister says, I don't get Nisei's logic here. We know Asa's busted, but everyone knows, so just tech. Well, like, there always has to be a best deck, Crabs, right? Like, there always has to be a best deck. The cool thing about Asa is, like, we've seen so many good decks out of the identity. Like, we saw so much flexibility in how to build it, which is kind of exciting. But I don't know. I feel like on its own, if that's the best deck, I don't think it's inherently problematic, as much as obviously it is good. Maybe that didn't say much, but that's my a point on it. I don't think it's too brutal. Slot the plop. Yeah, political operative, Sengrin is saying it's really good against it. Peace. Countering Lakshmi is rough. Yeah, Lakshmi, Paul Up will do that, huh? SDS is a good agenda. Oh, Cody, you're right. Yeah, Wayland can do it. Actually, I think the outfit could still play a 5-3 agenda list. You're totally right. I think you can play City Works Project and SDS Drone Deployment. SDS Drone Deployment is a very strong card against a criminal meta. And I don't know whether we're going to have a criminal meta. Who knows? We probably still do. Criminal's still pretty good. But yeah, that's actually one of the better 5-3s in the game. I forgot about that one. Thank you. Some decks are going to have to bite the bullet and run 3-pointers with 2-pointers if they want to exist, which they probably won't. Yeah, you just run food. You just run Global Food Initiative. I was planning on bringing a runner to World specifically to counter GameNet. That deck was so annoying. Yeah, Jester, I don't think you'll have to do it. Because let's talk about this. Gold Farmer is banned. Oh, man. This is a new card. I'm glad that Nisei is obviously holding themselves to the same flame. That's expression. But Gold Farmer was a card that was released recently, and people think it's absolutely nuts. Honestly, I'm going to regret saying this because I'm definitely wrong. I've heard so many more clever people say the different, but I don't get it. I don't know why this is worth splashing out of faction. In faction, this card is really good, right? 3 credits to res, 1 strength, not amazing. The runner can always pay 6 credits to go through this. That's expensive, but again, it will never keep the runner out if they want to get in. And it breaks generally for 2 credits, but on top of that, they lose 2 more credits. So it is basically a 3 credit res, 4 credit break with a breaker, a 6 credit break without a breaker. Now this one reminds me a lot of Eli 1.0 back in the day. A card that you could always click through, which is probably better than 6 credits, but generally cost about 4 credits to go through back in the day when we played Corroder. And Eli was too good. Eli was obviously a bit over curve, but Eli was too good. Modernly, Eli is not even showing up in a lot of decks. Paperclip gets through it for 3 credits. You can always click through it. But Gold Farmer to me reminds me of this like slightly overtaxing mid-range ice. Now the big deal obviously is with GameNet. GameNet, when you go through this, gets money. It gets 2 credits. That's really good. It's a 6 credit swing whenever you go through the ice. That's obviously really, really good, and people don't want to interact with GameNet. I never liked those mechanics. I'll be honest. I never liked these mechanics. It was cards like Kakago to some extent, GameNet, where running and interacting with the corp is the wrong option. I don't find that to be very fun. Now, sure, that makes interesting strategy. You see corps that you can't keep their economy down. That's frustrating, but that's obviously the part of why you'd play GameNet. But that's probably a bit overbearing. But we've seen gold farmer being splashed out of faction, and I don't get this. I honestly don't entirely understand this. Maybe there's just not enough good barriers in the game, but like people will spend 9 influence to put this in Paul on the list, and they'll win tournaments. So obviously they're onto something here, but I would never go on my way to splash this. I'm probably wrong, right? I'm probably way wrong about that. But yeah, that's obviously pretty good. But why the fuck didn't we love Marumati? So I'm obviously wrong about that, but it's proven to be too good of an ice. And the fact that we're seeing it again, being splashed for a barrier that just ends the run means something is goofy here. Even if this was more influence and people weren't splashing it as much, it would still probably be an issue considering that in GameNet is too good. So they're just going to go ahead and ban this card. This card could totally be in standard format if the numbers were probably slightly different. Maybe if it was end the run unless the runner paid 2, that probably wouldn't be worth it. But if this was maybe just lower strength, that probably doesn't matter. If this was more to res, maybe this would be playable. Maybe this could be a 5 cost ice and it would be fine. Forward break every time is so good. Yeah, it's definitely really good. But there's a lot of other stuff that costs about that much. Like most things that you go through with, I don't know. You expected to go through this with 3 or 2. Yeah, I get it. It's definitely like very, very, very efficient, but not flashy. And again, people are spending influence on this. This card is now banned. That is, again, such a big deal for GameNet decks, the competitive GameNet decks, not only because they're losing their agenda suite in a lot of ways, but they're also losing one of their best ice. So I don't know what's going to happen, whether you can make that competitive GameNet deck. Now, GameNet has been really weird because that is a deck that I did not see coming. Not that I'm expecting to see everything coming, but the idea is that this deck, if you saw in tournament play, it would go the distance. It would go a full like 50-minute game before it was ready to score out its last points. It would just glacier up. There'd be 4 ice on every server. It's wild. And this deck would run a lot of ice because a lot of the ice would give it economy, and that's really cool. Ginger City Grid in this one is a bit different, but it helps you for sure. But this list got a lot worse. Ooh, free lunch. There's no such thing. Majesty says, I'm kind of disappointed that between the banning of SSL endorsement and Gold Farmer, GameNet has been nuked from orbit. It really has. It really has been nuked from orbit, which is kind of sad considering GameNet is a Nisei thing that they're hoping to support. But like Nisei talks about it specifically, and I think they're also saying, maybe I'm projecting. They say that the GameNet decks were too strong. They were strong enough to be competitive and so slow and ponderous that a large number of tournament games went to time, and players and spectators reporting they were dull and unexciting. It's pretty wild, right? Like that's not something that you'd always expect considering Netrunner specifically isn't catering or advertising itself as an esport. But I do agree with this. As a commentator, I found some of the GameNet decks exciting to watch, but we saw a lot of it. A lot of the decks were very similar, and a lot of the decks had this game plan where it was like, again, go the distance, and like, I don't know, it probably wasn't that exciting to watch as much as we try and make it sound as exciting as possible. And that's a wild that like you have to make a balancing decision to make an exciting world, even if GameNet does get nuked from orbit. Admittedly, like Nisei knows what they're doing, and if there's something that they need to reprint in the near future that is a more balanced version of this card so GameNet can be playable if it's not considered playable modernly, that'll help. But yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind, which is wild. How many people liked watching GameNet? Totally let me know. Be brutal about it. Who cares? Wolfwood, what's up? Asa busted? Isn't it just HB click compression? It sounds like runners just aren't pressuring corpse early game. Gold farmers just costed 2 low, exactly, should be 5 to res. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Like, and that's the same thing with Jinja. I love central pressure because then the corp can't run off in a different direction. But the big thing about Asa is that it sets up so aggressively that if you can't pressure and take down the right pieces, it can score really aggressively from hand. Even with enough central pressure, I think you're slower than it. It's really difficult. We don't have keyhole anymore, right? Yo, Parallel, what's up? How you going? How's it doing? Okay. Ooh, Gold Farmer talk. Cody says, I'm also with you. I don't get that it's that over the curve to import. Yeah, I don't get that. I still don't understand that. GFI plus CST plus Cyberdeck Sandbox is good neutral suite that you can supplement with a better faction 3-2. Yeah, I'm worried that everyone's just going to play that. And if everyone's playing the neutral cards over the in-faction cards, you definitely have a problem. But I feel like every faction has good 3-2/4-2s that are worth playing. Gold Farmers like Eli, but Eli nowadays can be broken for 2-3. Solemn, yeah, totally. Eli's not that hot anymore. Compare it to Endless Eula. It's cheaper. It's only just 2 credits cheaper to break, but the same to pay through. For the credits and in game net, it makes money. Yes. Yes, but Eula wasn't even like a popular card, right? Would have been interesting if it triggered per break ability since instead of on a broken sub. Oh, like on Gold Farmer? Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of ways you could balance it, huh? People don't enjoy playing the game, they just stop. So the fractures with multiple break subs abilities. Oh wait, Clip doesn't eat the full tax. Yeah, you can't reward Clippy too much. The worst part about GameNet is there's 20 additional minutes of gameplay after the corp has stabilized and the runner just tried to get lucky off singles. It's brutal. That's actually very true. Like a lot of times they would build their server, they'd just be clicking for credits, and then you see the runner just be like, "Oh, I hope I get lucky. Oh, I hope I get lucky," and exciting. That's a great point. It's part of why prison decks have been so maligned historically, but people have loved to play prison decks. Hopefully System Gateway will bring some more good ice. Yes, I think it definitely will. Also on its own isn't busted. The problem is the card pool, fully op, VLC, and Cybernetics Court just synergize too well. Yeah. And again, this is like such a big point that always comes up with any balance discussion is like anything that's lost or missing, anything that you think has disappeared, to some point will come back, right? Like Kakugo, you'll get a spiritual successor to Breachstone. That stuff will definitely be coming back in a way that is healthy enough that Nisei is going to keep it in the game. What's the next least expensive barrier that costs Paperclip 4 to break? Okay, without any support? That's a good question. I think our standard is Firewall. Firewall is 4 to break, but it's 5 to res. So it's what we think that Gold Farmer should probably have costed if it's fair. The fact that NBN has good barriers is also weird, but NBN barriers are porous. That's kind of interesting. I like that a lot. What else we got? I honestly don't know. Barriers are not that popular. 4, so it'd have to be like 3 subs. No, wow. I don't think there's a lot. Paperclip and Corroder have kind of warped barrier design. Yeah, it's almost entirely Paperclip. And that's why you're seeing barriers having more interesting text on them than just end the run and strength. Yeah. Hagen. Oh yeah, Hagen can do it. Hagen's good. Yeah, Hagen can be 4. Hagen can be pretty annoying. Hagen's a cool card. Nobody really plays Firewall? No, of course not. No, they really shouldn't. Maybe. Shock reprint win. Yeah, Paperclip is obviously a bit too good. It's hard though. What can you do? There has to be a best one. It's just unfortunate that one's so easy to play. Okay, and there's one more card that's been banned that's probably a bigger deal, and it's Pad Tap is banned. I don't really have... I feel like Pad Tap I would put in the same category and call it Jank Glue. So Pad Tap, if you're not familiar, it's a card that gives you credits. When the corp gets credits off of abilities once per turn. And it is really annoying. It puts the corp in this decision in the early to mid game where, and again, runners are pretty good in the late game most of the times for most decks, that they either have to spend 3 credits and a click, which is a lot of money. It's like getting account siphoned to stop this from happening. Or hope that they can win before it's a detriment. And the install cost of this card, it's literally nothing. It's 0. You put this down, that's it. There's nothing to it. You don't have to run a central server, which this card could have been much more reasonable if that was a cost. But yeah, it's nothing. And that's obviously pretty bad for the corp. It's really, really difficult to deal with that. But on top of this, this is a 1 influence 0 cost card with it costs like nothing to put into your deck. And this is the sort of card that would show up in so many decks just because it is Jank Glue. It'll give you money, it'll slow down the corp, it'll do something good for you no matter what your game plan is. Literally no matter what your game plan is. And that's pretty sweet, but we've lost it. Does it hurt Criminal? Definitely. Most Criminal decks are running 3 of this, and it hurts a lot of other cards. I don't know who else is splashing this. Who else splashes Pad Tap? Is there any deck that classically always splashes Pad Tap? I feel like anybody who plays Peacener or Time sometimes does, but I don't think that's going to be that common. I think the bigger changes to Pad Tap, though, affect the corp. Haley decks? Yeah, for Haley makes sense. It's a really good install, right? Pad Tap was designed with scarcity in mind. That suits so. Yeah, maybe, but even if Pad Tap costed 2, I think it would be a totally fair card. What would you replace Pad Tap for? Ooh, in your Criminal deck, that's actually a really cool question. Maybe it gives you tech slots, but in terms of economy cards that like do that sort of drip, there's not a lot going on there. Does chat have a better idea? Yo, Jogging, how's it going? How's Arkham? Pad Tap surprised me, says Parallel. Yusengren says Jank Glue that's good in top tier decks is sort of the theme of the banned cards here. Yeah, it really is. Super annoying when the Crim is already winning, but then there's an interesting design space. I hope they revisit that. I do entirely agree that Pad Tap is a very fascinating design space. All right, Sunny is playing Pad Tap. Big Units 8-bot Hoshiko deck. More Hoshiko. Adam. All of these people love Pad Tap just because it's a very easy, good install. Yeah, Adam loves Pad Tap. Good stuff, Val. Again, everything that's blue pays pad tap. I play pad tap in Freedom. I believe it. That sounds good. Hoshiko, you need it in your con deck. Yeah, it can go in anything. It really can. Crowdfunding. Oh, we miss it. McCarlemaine says Tapworm. Oh, Tapworm is probably like the closest facsimile, but yeah, probably Tapworm. I don't know how good Tapworm is. The thing is, like, people might be playing more Cyberdex Fire Suite stuff, or Sandbox, so who knows? Yeah, Tapworm's probably right. Yo, Antoine, what's up? Pad tap really hurts Haley? Shaper, huh? Ace up in general? Yeah, spray. Yeah, maybe try Tapworm. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Anywho, now, honestly, pad tap leaving is a pretty big deal for criminal economy, for some anarch economy, but I think it's actually the bigger deal what it allows corpse to play, because pad tap fires once a turn on any card that gives credits. So there was a couple cards that were really bad to play pad tap into. SSL endorsement was still good enough to play, but when you score an SSL endorsement and you gain 9, they gain 3 at a minimum, not great. Can get worse from there. But there's also a lot of other cards that are like pretty bad into pad tap, and they get a lot better. Things like Slot Machine now is technically a bit better. Slot Machine would sometimes give the runner credits, and they didn't mind that. It made the subroutines less good. A lot of the Wayland Ice Suite, things like Whoredom and things like what's the other one? Mouseless. This subroutine, a lot of times you wouldn't break it. Corp gets a credit, you gain 1 credit, you gain 2 credit. That's totally fine. Even cards like Corporate Sales Team were so fucking bad into pad tap, and now it's actually a lot more playable. Yeah, you can get 10 credits. Nothing to say about it. This is probably a good enough card. Ooh, Paulina is being mentioned. Yeah, Paulina was one of the worst reasons to play Paulina was, man, pad tap was such a big deal. They play pad tap, draw. And now you have to deal with that. Otherwise, your thing is every time they get free Proco draw once a turn. It's so bad. So that's a really big deal. Like I feel like any card that you can play that that gives you money is just so much easier to play. Assets, like even against like asset spam decks, getting an early pad tap would be like enough. Like, oh, you can keep your pad campaign CTM or your early Maryland campaign. I have my pad tap. And a lot of times in the early game, they didn't have money to trash your shit. But now you can be like, oh, I have my pad campaign. I'm fine. On top of that, there's one more that I was thinking of. Shit if I know. I don't know. Pop-up window. I think they mentioned that in the article. Like cards like this seems, I don't know if they're worth playing in your deck, but they seem incredibly bad in a meta that has pad tap. And now maybe this is more playable, which is interesting. Pollen is viable again. Yeah, right? They specifically called out getting CST back, right? Yeah, totally. Nerfs Tycoon? Yeah, that's true. Tycoon wasn't very popular, but Tycoon was as a nice thing to play with pad tap and Peace in Our Time. That whole engine was definitely a really big thing. Well, I've been away for a few weeks and come back to find Gold Farmer banned. Sounds like MVN's been having some fun. Pad tap, I definitely understand. How's it going, Andrew? Yeah, we saw some Glacier game net decks. They were pretty good. Just rebirth Ian, free money. Cody's saying sec testing data dealer. Are those your pad tap options? Sec testing is definitely meta dependent for sure. I think security testing is not bad against a lot of stuff. If you're playing Turtle, it's a bit better. If you're playing against Asa or anything that doesn't ice up all centrals quickly, security testing is definitely pretty good. You want to get value with that run though. Generally just like, I don't know, click for 2 is like, that's the thing with pad tap. It's not only money, but it's click compression, and that's a really big deal. But if you're running archives just to gain 2, you probably should be getting a data sucker or a DreamNet, or yeah, DreamNet is what it's called, right? Like you have to do other stuff. Don't play data dealer. Willoon, what's up? Data dealer's okay. We out here, evil Miskatonic University people are going down. FA spooky gravedigger. Yo, jogging. I'm glad you're enjoying Arkham. Tapworm, but no SSL to easily boost Corp credits. Just rebirth Ian. Corp's gonna play the agenda that gives 1 credit every turn. Yeah, corporate sales team. It's pretty good, Antoine. Nisei Division no longer better than Plana. Oh no. Was it ever? What am I missing? Oh man. Why is Plana okay, but engineering the future is considered too strong? Well, let's talk about that. So engineering the future gave you a credit once per turn. And that's it. You have to install a card. Good stuff. Why play any other HB ability? That's not true, actually. With engineering the future as an option and Asa as an option, I think you'd pick Asa a lot of the time. But Paulina is much different because Paulina is only when the runner draws, and the runner doesn't draw every turn. Also, the runner now has control over the corpse economy, and that's not in your control. I agree that they might sound similar, but the credit for this is way more nuanced, and there's some turns that you won't get it. Sure, there's some ETF turns that you won't get it, but like, I don't know. ETF also you can fire on the runner's turn sometimes. It's a much more nuanced ability for sure. It really is. Free ETF. Yo, ETF is jank glue too. That was another big jank glue card, is Engineering the Future. Because I would play stupid stuff in Engineering the Future and you could get away with it just because you got a credit a turn. That's good enough. So, anywho. What does that do to the meta? Honestly, I don't know. And this is the silence that we get before Worlds. And in some ways, it's kind of a bummer, but I understand it. Is if you go to deck lists, like you're not going to see anybody publishing shiny new deck lists for the next couple of weeks. Because if anybody is testing privately their thing that they think is going to win Worlds, they're not going to talk about it. So it's not going to show up here. It really is not going to show up here. So we're not even going to know what's good unless somebody finds it or the rumor mill is out and about. But oot in the boot. So who knows? Like, I don't know. But existing archetypes, I think you can tell some changes. I think all the good criminal stuff that's doing a good, like, what's the last thing we can look at? The biggest data point is intercontinentals. And the game net stuff is definitely going to have to pivot. That's largely it. With Honor and Profit about to rotate out in a few months, what staples are leaving? Oh man, it's a bummer. I don't like when Deluxes rotate. Nobody cared about the Shaper one. It was garbage. The Shaper, the HP one was trash. You can't rotate Honor and Profit. Honor and Profit, what rotates? Good question. ETF wasn't necessary too good, but just way ahead of the other HB IDs. Yes. And also like the fact that, I don't know, this is debatable, but the fact that ETF gave so much money meant that a lot of the HB cards weren't very good economy cards because the base pool of how much economy HB ETF got kind of impacted that. Is Max on Honor and Profit? No, Honor and Profit's just Criminal and Jinteki. Okay, out of the identities, I wish there was a better Psy identity. But it's not this one. I think Psy's fun. I like Psy. Really don't like this. House of Knives is interesting. This is probably going to be saved. It's a very strong effect. Philodic is a very strong card. Future Perfect is a very strong card. All those rotating will have an impact on the meta. Future Perfect shows up modernly. Psychic Field rotating, this is the best non-advanced trap in the game. If this rotates, that's a really big deal. I don't think 419 is worth bringing up, but if that rotates, that's the best unadvanced trap in the game. Fucking this card is probably poisonous. Mushin Ocean rotating, it's a big deal. Commander doesn't see play, but it could. Philodic is in System Core. Yeah, Dan, you're totally right. Man, Neo Toga could be better. Guard rotating matters to very niche decks. Fast Track I don't think is that relevant anymore. Out of the criminals, unfortunately, none of that. I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like they got better at printing Netrunner the more Netrunner you got. Not that people don't love these identities, but in terms of like, I feel like a lot of these identities, you can do it better in another ID. Silhouette's fascinating though. Legwork is in System Core, so that's good. Feint in theory is like jank for Apocalypse decks, so it's not a competitive card. I wish, oh man, I keep saying this. I feel like I've been saying this for years. And I don't know if Nisei's been doing as good as a job about this as I hope they would. Criminals are meant to be criminals. The whole last like couple cycles before Nisei, everything that Criminal was getting printed was just a fucking blue computer. It was just a computer and you painted it blue and you said it was a criminal thing. I don't get it. Yo, make crime happen again. I want to think criminals are terrible people that will extort and murder and do terrible shit. And they don't do it anymore. They just have blue computers. Give them a gun. Give them a gun. We need more crime. The central lane breakers don't matter. People are very fond of Gingerbread. Grappling hook rotating actually is kind of a big deal. Security testing, rotating is a big deal. Bagbiter is just kind of a soft spot for a lot of people, and that is it. Oracle May is a cute card. Nice, a bastard. Oh man. Drive-by? Yeah, drive-by is cool. Drive-by was good. Okay, you want to let's dunk on criminal design. I've never designed a card game, but let me tell you, I have strong opinions about shit. Let's go to Flashpoint. Let's go to Red Sands. What's the Katara? That's fine. And let's sort by criminal. How do you do that? What is it? K? What's the faction? Artie is a stupid. Oh, he's so good. Okay, let's look at which of these cards make you think that they're doing crimes. On the Lam, pretty good. No, 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 no. Sort of. No, no, no. Sort of. No. kind of. Yeah, but not really. It gets worse. It gets a lot worse. We get a lot of blue computers. It's not K. What is it? I thought it was K. F. Makes way more sense. Overmind happens in Atom decks sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that happen in things sometimes, but like not a big change. Exploit, no, definitely not. No, this is all Shaper cards. They just painted Shaper cards blue. Like, what do they do? Shaper card, Shaper card, Shaper card, Shaper card, Amakua, I guess. Shaper card, Shaper card, Shaper card, Shaper card, Shaper card. Are we done yet? Is there another what's next? I don't know. Look, I'm entertaining myself too much, but none of this felt like crime. This was getting there. Sin Attack is technically a crime. Mammon is cool flavor. These are really cool flavor. I don't know. No. I want to make a deck and call it Blue Computers. Like Rubicon Switch, right? Like they just made it a computer. It looked like a console. Man, do you know what I love? I love this shit. This is what I thought criminals were so much better at. Like, this is Gabe actually like tampering with wires on a console, on some sort of machine to make profit from it. That's criminal shit. We need more of this, not just like Rubicon Switch is a blue computer. Okay, we'll change the topic. I feel like I'm Bug Out Bag is good thematic for crim. Yeah, but you could put an Anarch, call Bug Out Bag, put in an Anarch. Probably be fine. I just remembered Mammon. Mammon's fun. Amaku has annihilated all AI competition, though. Yeah, it kind of has, but we need more crime. Gabe got old and started looking like the corp executives. Yeah, but he got a job at a bank. Drive-by is great crime. Yeah, the drive-by is great crime, but that whole cycle was literally about a criminal gang, and they actually nailed it. Like the Muertos gang is fantastic. Like Geistwalker, crime, drive-by, crime, gangside, crime, forger. Just feels like crime. Shiv. Heavy crime, gang sign, Desco crime. Like, you see where we're going here? This is like, yeah, okay, crime. Got it. Mammon's interesting AI design that's just not strong enough. Yeah, and Mammon I think is a fascinating card, and was somewhat playable. Lawyer Up was great flavor. Lawyer Up is such good flavor. Hostage is such good flavor. If you don't know Lawyer Up, it's a really good flavor. It shows a criminal like flipping off the feds, or not even flipping off, excuse me, but like, see you later, nerds. Especially after you account siphon them, you call your lawyer. That's good stuff. I miss Glacier decks. What do you think about the state of the ice defensive upgrades in the game? Glacier decks we've seen classically have been possible, but they've been pushing for the late game inevitability. So this was the thing, right? This is not too well thought out, and I have no doubt that there's holes in this argument, but Jackson Howard used to exist, and Jackson Howard is a really strong card at making sure you're not holding your agendas, and making sure that that you can draw into the pieces you need to. It lets you filter your deck, and that was a really big deal. You saw so many decks classically at Old Worlds, things like the old Replicating Perfection. Sorry if I'm saying things that you might not be familiar with, but the old Replicating Perfection decks, they would basically build up for the first like 20 minutes, and then 30 minutes in they would start to score once they had their Glacier setup. And that was very possible because they had good spiky ice, because they had good economy in the remote server, but also because Jackson Howard and cards like man, what was that other one called? Oh, I love the art on it. Interns would allow you like to bring back pieces and set up a remote that was really difficult to run at. Obviously Caprice Nase is a hell of a card, obviously but like that's a lot harder. Like in modern Netrunner, what you draw, if you draw an agenda, you have to do something with it a lot of the time, so it's very difficult to build something that's like a long-term late game Glacier. You saw attitude adjustment in a lot of those game net decks. A lot of those game net decks don't encourage early aggression because you give them money, and it kind of buys them the breathing room. Also, their agendas are both defensive and offensive, so even stealing like a Bologna early is hard. Stealing an SSL early is like probably bad news. So you kind of need all that to happen. A lot of the modern decks are just like, either you have to go fast because it's hard to beat drip economy. Like it's hard to play Glacier when they're getting 3 credits a turn from Rizeki and friends. So it's kind of difficult, but I feel like so much of Netrunner right now on the corp side is you just have to play your hand really well, and a lot of times you can't build for the late game because you're gonna get goofed up. Not to mention defensive upgrades. In terms of upgrades to get in the way as the runner, stealing agenda, they peaked with Ash 1.0 and Caprice Nase. Yeah, Caprice Nase obviously is the strongest one. I think Ash is still really good. We are seeing Glacier play, or not Glacier play, but like big remote play, like Jinja City Grid. You get that in there with a border control, you're kind of good to go. For what it's worth, I'm still convinced Mason Bellamy is a hell of a card and is underrepresented. Mason Bellamy with border control is just bonkers, like just bonkers. But we don't see too much of that. But Jinja is technically the closest to Glacier that can play its hand, which is a really big deal. Katara has crime flavor. Katara is probably pretty good, but Katara has like, you're right, Katara has straight good crime flavor. Katara did good because it has things like corporate grant, which is fun. It has the new diversion of funds. It has what's that one with credit kiting? It has 419, who's literally a scammer. But like, what the fuck is Khan? Oh man. Glacier decks used to not run primarily 3-pointers. Yeah, Glacier decks also didn't only run 3-pointers. They did have more agendas too, and they would score them. Like an early Glacier deck in HB would score in what's it called, an accelerated beta test, so it could Glacier out even harder. Like it was good. Khan is bad at what she is. Khan is bad, yeah. And it just printed a bunch of hot garbage. I don't know. I don't think the upgrades have been particularly bad. Okay, no, that's not true. There's a lot of bad upgrades, but a lot of the upgrades that Nisei has been printing specifically lately are really strong upgrades. Like almost all the regions they printed are hot fire. Like La Costa is a hell of a card. And La Costa is like, is one of the big props holding up, like, you know, the sort of Paulana and Ag Infusion mid-range rush decks we've seen. Yo, Lopez, what's up? Adam, catching grid live. An excellent day. What I miss? Good luck and have fun out there. Thank you. We've played no Netrunner. It's been a really busy day of talking about Worlds and talking about the new ban list. And I think we're going to start playing Netrunner now. Glad you can make it. Lethea Nisei, not so much. No, Lethea is not fantastic, but could be worse. Biovault is good. Embezzle? Oh yeah, Embezzle is great. You're right. Embezzle is really, really, really good. Glad I love Kayambe. Yeah, Kayambe is the only other banned Nisei card, I believe. That was asked before. I think it's just Kayambe and Gold Farmer now. Yeah, I think that's right. One of the problems that I feel Corp decks suffer from is trying to tax a bit here and there and not doubling down on one thing. What do you mean by that? Totally unfair because we're always going to compare Lethea to Caprice? Yes, we are. And everything's going to look like shit to Caprice. This is Caprice. You play a Psy game. Okay, Lethea could have been busted if the wording was slightly different. So we've said this before on the channel. Caprice has been a really, 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 really strong card. For influence, people would splash out of faction. But the idea is when the runner passes all of the ice protecting the server, they play a side game, and only if they win, they can access. And this timing is very important because it means after they win the side game, you still have an ability to react. So then you would use a Nisei Mark II token, and that's amazing. Modernly, you would be like, oh, I lost the 66% chance, assuming everything's fully random, and then I would border control. So this is impossible. And that's like, it's so hard to chew through a remote where that's set up. Lethea is different. It looks like a Caprice. It doesn't end the run. It puts you back outside. It's also a one-time use, right? Yeah, but on top of it, you can only play this when the runner approaches the server. And when the runner approaches the server, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have a border control window. You don't have a Nisei Mark II window. So it's obviously so much worse for so many reasons, but Caprice was one of the strongest cards ever printed in Netrunner, so I don't think it's a surprise. But the timing window is just different. Caprice's peak Netrunner fun. I can't win a side game to save my life lately. Swear I've lost like 20 straight. Yo, Giles, just buy some nice dice. It'll be fine. Yeah, Caprice with border control would have been just silly. Just silly. I want a Caprice that just lets you access the new Caprice if you fail the side game. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. I think you can get away with that. But the border controls would still stack up really, really, really miserably. Now, the thing is, like, the closest thing we've got to Caprice, and people are playing this, is Biovault. Like, people are playing the heck out of Biovault, especially with La Costa. And Biovault is one of the strongest defensive upgrades in the game. Other defensive upgrades we see, what do we see? We still see Ash. Ash is still okay. We see a couple pieces of red herrings here or there. That's fine. We are seeing, it's not exactly a defensive upgrade, and certain decks can only play it, but we are seeing Lakshmi Smart Fabrics, which in some it protects agendas. That's where we're getting at. What else do we see? We don't see that much else. I don't know what else we see. What is that other one that like sequencing? I don't know what it's called. No, that's not it, is it? What's that one that makes you re-encounter the ice? That one's fun, but it's kind of been useless. BioVault took its time to take off, wasn't popular in release. No, it definitely wasn't. And Lacosta is definitely a big help. But BioVault is like that sort of Glacier thing where it's like, I have a turn to set up for the future. And like, that's not always afforded. Ben Musashi is decent Glacier upgrade, but has a fundamental problem in its design. Glacier tries to tax credits, Musashi taxes cards. Sure. And I don't know. Musashi was pretty bad with Film Critic existing, but the idea was you can do Ben Musashi and Obokata Protocol, and that's very hard to deal with. At the end of the day, like, I just don't understand Ben Musashi. Like, the trash cost, res cost, 1 to 3, not bad. You get 2 net damage, that's good, even if they trash this. But you only do the damage if the runner steals the agenda. I just don't understand why I would ever play Ben Musashi when I have access to Prizek. And Prizek is, you know, 1 credit more. It's the same to trash. It does a tag and a single meat damage, which that's probably just better. And it does it on successful run. It doesn't care if they steal it or not. I don't know. Prizek just seems good. I feel like Prizek is just even better than Hokusai Grid if you don't care about the word net damage, which some IDs do. I don't know. Prizek seems good, so good. Code Replicator, thank you. Yeah, Code Replicator. This was good for a minute. Chrysium's still strongest upgrade? Yeah, kind of is, huh? Oh, Ganked. Yeah, Ganked is good. People do play Ganked. It's a certain deck. It doesn't fit in everything. The Agenda Suite or Ice Suite matters, but Ganked is a good upgrade. There's some stuff. It's to make Obos cost sticks. Yeah, it really is. And then you hit them with the punitive. I shouldn't be drinking coffee at 10 in the evening. Okay. Okay, what do y'all think is good though? Because I reckon we have to play some Netrunner. I'm also reckoning that everybody is playing 20, what do they call it? It's worth noting that this meta, the new ban list, is only effective as of the 25th of September, which is in 2 weeks. It is next week. So I imagine people right now are still playing it because a lot of people are preparing for Worlds and don't care. Are people just not labeling? I guess people are just not, are people not labeling? Diogen, what up? Iceless is so much fun. Yeah, but what can you play Iceless? Like, it's like sports metal. And maybe PE, but that seems like a problem. I'm assuming everyone's just playing it, right? We didn't play the deck list of the week, but the deck list of the week is a format deck. It's from Lockdown, and Lockdown has a ban list that changes. You seen some people labeling? Oh, okay, cool. Labeling stopped like a day ago. Most people play new bands. Okay, that's cool. I guess I wouldn't get upset if the opponent doesn't play the new bands, but for testing, I reckon you wanted to. So this is, yeah, I don't know if I want to play this specifically. It's Lockdown. I'll play you my PE? Oh, man. I appreciate it. I'm not the biggest fan of playing against PE. I avoid it whenever I can. So what's good? I honestly don't know. Like, it's so easy just to play an Asa list and see it's good. Koga is playing this. It is a tablet Asa with, I think they just added a gate, Fairchild, excuse me, and cut the Cyberdex Fire Suite. It's obviously very good. Are people upset? Iceless Jemison? Oh boy, that sounds awful. Punitive Asa? Yo, Sid, I would love to play your Punitive Asa actually. That seems really fun. Let's do that for a second. Let's get some Asa in there. Iceless Argus? Man, I want to play Argus trap deck so bad, and it's just like 1 trap away from being very good. I think we did, not Iceless, but we did that before, and we were like scoring out, what's it called? We actually like ended up scoring out false flags. Sid, is it with the numbers, or is it just Sid? I'm having a lot of fun and luck with the Argus trap. Excuse me. How does that look like? How about Harmony Med? What does Harmony Med do though? Like, Harmony Med doesn't do anything. Like, are you just mooshing agendas? More Embless Earth? Oh yeah, we should play more Embless Earth for sure. It's Sid 7. Oh, thank you. It's fun? How is it fun? Is it just Mushin? Because if it's just Mushin, I respect that. It's just not my fun. All right, after much attack, Iceless deck. So Snare, Rashida, Comms, Bankers Group, Punitive, Preemptive. So the thing with these sort of decks I don't get is like if they just install a Stargate, they win, right? I'll definitely try this, but I don't see how we win. These teams are cute though, that's for sure. What about fast advance with merger? I don't know if merger is ever worth playing. Like, okay, that's a problem, right? If you're talking about fast advance, there's like 1 or 2 decks that does fast advance the best, and they all don't play merger. Kind of love that Nisei's been making ban list changes shortly before big events. Yo, Opon, yeah, that's kind of a precedent for that, to kind of like shake up and make sure the meta is really fun to watch and is diverse. How do we win this though? Why do we care about Mumbet Virtual Tour? Trojans for Stargate? But they have to access a card. Stargate doesn't access cards. I would see that they probably end up accessing a card. But like if we have to do a huge trace to beat out a Stargate, that can't be good. Also, we just get diversioned really hard. I feel like there's just so much aggression we can't answer. Let's try it. Are you not taxing with ice? No, there's no ice. Man, back in the day with things like Keyhole, this was such a disaster. I'm going to call it our aggression though, because it's Argus, and I'm going to feel really clever about that. Let me have it. Oh, doesn't work. Who would have thought? Okay. Is this what Netrunner will look like after global warming? Hey. I'd be very happy to score Divested Trust. The thing is, like, okay, anything that we install face down, why don't they run it? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, we don't, the best thing that we could possibly put in this deck is probably Psychic Field. But like, face down, they can run everything. Like, price tag's not that bad. Mumbet Virtual Tour, whatever, it's fine. 7 assets. That's a lower number than I thought it'd be. And like, we don't have advanceable traps, so how do we ever score? We can't over advance an Atlas. I don't get it. We'll figure it out. You can replace Trojan with Audacity. Yeah, Audacity seems kind of nice. We have 1 though. That's probably fine. I don't know. I feel like with really good play, I don't think a runner should lose this one. Like, we don't even have big trap. Like, if we had Mushin, there's a big difference, right? Like, if you Mushin a Cerebral Cast, or sorry, Cerebral Overrider, like, you have a very different game. But for this one, I don't think there's any trap that hits that hard. Jindeki PE, Iceless 180%. Oh, I totally believe it. I think PE has more tools for it. But also, like, people play against PE really strange online. All right, let's give this a shot. I guess to win 60%. 60% of the time, all the time. Oh, they left. Play Hangeki. Hangeki shuffles the card back, right? What's Hangeki do? So you have to advance it. They have to access another card? Oh man, so much work. Oh, but this is, it's an event. Or an operation, excuse me. Man, I've never seen that card see play. Iceless always felt memey. It's cool one time, but as soon as a runner knows what's up, you don't win unless they make mistakes. Yeah, I think a runner has to make mistakes for this to be a problem. Anyone watching the stream will know they can dunk on your remotes. Yeah, they can. I think you can dunk on all the remotes. My PE has 9 negative agendas. So what do you have? You have News Team, you have Shikyu. Do you play Hangeki? I don't know what other... Why? Why are they leaving? Is there a flag somewhere? Why is everyone leaving? Oh, you do have Hangeki. This coffee is terribly cold. I have water. We'll be fine. Feels bad. It really does. People come in and be like, oh, this dickhead, I'm out. Again, yo, talking about this dickhead. Saturday, that's in 2 days. It's in like 48 hours, much less than starting at 10:30 or 10:30 Eastern time. We'll be streaming Nemec. The dickhead was meant to be me in this. We got some new cards. Nemec has designed some more cards and tuned some cards. If you haven't watched, we did this last time on Tabletop Simulator, when Nemec made a set of like, I don't know, it was like a lot. It was like 200 new cards. And Pat and I, oh, it's even down here. Pat and I played some new cards, and it was a really good time. Nemec has made some new cards. We're going to be playing them on Saturday. I don't think it's on Tabletop Simulator, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited for it. It'll be this Saturday, so hopefully drop by or check out the VOD or however you want to do it. It'll be a nice time. All right, Hoshiko. Opening hand, pretty bad. I don't think this is bad, but I don't know what a good hand is. Thanks, you too. Like, I think we want a snare in our hand. We don't have a lot of agenda, which is good. Yeah, that's probably better. We can just install 3 naked. You can also replace Mumbed with Econ Warfare. All right, opening hand. So we can leave this in hand and we can just do some remotes. Yeah, let's see how that goes, I guess. If they like smash into an early Mumbed, that's obviously very good for us. I don't know if they mulliganed or not. They kept. Oh, that's scary. So Wanton is like kind of bad. We can't stop that. Stargate obviously is bad, but we can't stop that. Scoring an early Divested Trust is obviously very strong. Gagarin looking a bit different now. Yeah, right? Fucking sniped. They found it. It's still a tag or 2 meat, so there is a cost to this. But imagine they hit the Mumbed Virtual Tour. No HHN? No, this deck has no punishment from hand. If I'm not mistaken. No, nothing. So like they really need to goof it. They took a 2 meat damage and hit I've had worse, so that was really bad for us. Hostile, I guess we have to, but we have no reason to. Like, it doesn't do anything for us. It gives them bad pub, which I feel like is really bad. But I think we need to score this to win. Maybe not. Maybe we can just have it as a 1-pointer. Like, what are we preemptiving? Snares? Sorry, I'll open the list here. Snares, I guess? We have 3 preemptives? Dedication? Alright, so they're accessing with Rashida, so they have a link. The bad publicity. Alright, so Say Works Project. So Punitive is no longer online. They hit another I've had worse, so they're up to 4. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win this one. Oh, okay. This is bad. At least they have to use their Paladin, am I right? I played a game with SSO versus Apex. Highlight of the game was an Ice Wall stronger than Endless Hunger. Hell yeah. Nothing you can do about that. That's awesome. It's like, what, strength 12? Where's Punitive? Oh man, Punitive would be sick. I don't even think we have a Hunter Seek. Sorry, a Consulting Visit, do we? No, we don't even have a Consulting Visit. So we have to like hard draw 2 Punitives. Yeah, so if we draw Punitive, we win. 1 draw for Punitive, 1 draw for Punitive. No, so we lose the game. And like even with infinite money with Commercial Bankers Group, there's nothing we can do. Like the Commercial Banker Group is probably not even worth playing. Them stealing the news team would probably be beneficial. I just don't know how to make them do that. Well, luck of the draw. Yeah, but that's gonna happen without an Iceless deck. Like not more often than not, but like we have no control over that. Yeah, Turning Wheel. Like we lose to Turning Wheel also like 100% of the time. Yeah. All right, they got us. Got us good. Yikes. Were we even close to Punitive? No. I feel like a Consulting Visit will help. We'll try another one with that. Like obviously that's incredibly unlucky, but like I don't think that's far off of how it should go. Like they can ignore our shit and we won't win. Like they have to fuck up. If they just ignore our shit, they will win. There's Hammer Centrals. Like we didn't even see a Stargate. 60% success, man. 40% fail. Yeah, it wins 60% of the time, all the time. All right, Ransom Man, what's up? They didn't leave, so that feels good. Ooh, Ken. So what are we worried about? We have dedication in our hand into higher CityWorks profile, but we don't have punitive. This hand's almost worth keeping. The thing is, like, they're gonna diversion us. Thanks, you too. Like, they're gonna diversion us turn one. They're going to maybe even diversion us. They might even embezzle us. So at least we can, like, maybe offshore the Rashida. We can do, like, Rashida CityWorks. We can do CityWorks dedication advance. That's probably good enough. We'll see. The runners can't R&D until they hit the first snare and they start getting antsy. Yeah, but they still need to fuck it up. This could look like a Crisium. All right. So this is 6 damage. Now, criminal. Might want to do embezzle run here. I still think you can maybe grab this, but then they're worried about punitive, but we're only on 3 credits, so we would need like too big to fail into punitive. 0. Whoa. Hitting a boomerang, exclusive party. All right, looks like we got the agenda. Snare. All right, if we credit, we're pretty weak to diversion, so I'm just gonna try and offshore Mumbed Virtual Tour into Rashida. If they don't run this, we pop the Rashida like we do. Oh, falsified. They're guessing upgrade. They expose Rashida, so I'm gonna res both of them. They got no money off of that. This is kind of bad though, because they can run and trash the Rashida first, and then they don't have to deal with the Mumbed Virtual Tour. So this is bad. Always credit up to snare? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if they go for singles here though. We just jammed out a 3-pointer and 2 things on the table. Oh, Amaku is also gonna be a huge issue for us. Yeah, this is what they want to do, right? Like, they just go to low credits and they have to don't deal with the Mumbed. They don't even need the Amaku. The Amaku is probably not even worth playing because now they have on 1 credit and they could have ducked the Virtual Tour anyways. So right now, if we had hard hitting news, we'd obviously be in a very good spot. We don't. What do we do here? We have to click for credits and we're just gonna get diversioned. Like, we can't duck diversion in a meaningful way. Yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, this is really bad. At least it was not a full diversion for them. But like now we're just clicking for credits. They can't fire snare. No. Yeah, this is miserable. It's nice to see you click for credits for a bit. Yeah, I believe it. But like, we're just gonna diversion again, huh? They lost a Mockler, but that shouldn't matter. And then actually, we don't care. We don't Trojan in Amakua. We don't have ice. Oh, that's okay. The bad publicity goes to help them trash things, and their economy is like probably pretty good right now. Like they do have their exclusive parties are pretty good. Dirty Laundry is gonna be pretty good too. We can fire snare. The news team would be a good hit here, but now that they know they have this, they're gonna wait for the embezzle. They're gonna embezzle a hand really good. Oh, this also could be Apocalypse, but I don't know if they want Apocalypse this board. I don't know if we can sell this naked. I don't know if they'll ever run it. They lost the legwork. Okay, cool. News team. So it's either 2 tags or -1 agenda points. Ah, they're taking the 2 tags. Nice. Again, we're not pressuring their economy. I think that's a right play. All right, punitive won't matter. They have a lot of money. Snare is okay. I think we want to keep it in hand. I don't know. I don't think we need the Trojan horse. We could also stack these, which would be good. I just want them to check this. Maybe we should stack it. Yeah, legwork, that's fine. That's why you keep the snare, huh? You know, you can discard some cards to make them check archives. Yeah, we could. We could. Okay, they're running a snare. That's okay. We and I've had worse? What? All right. That's fine. And turning wheel. Okay, so we're going to lose the turning wheel. But we can cycle in 2 snares in a hedge fund. Whatever, if they steal that, that's fine. And we'll play this. So I'm taking snare, snare, and I think hedge fund. Actually, like dedication ceremony is probably good too. I kind of like dedication. Yeah, let's do dedication. You can make them poor with Trojan, but why? Like, we make ourselves poor. I just don't see why they would ever pay into this. Well, what are they worried to lose? Oh, a snare? Yeah, we'll fire it. A second I've had worse and a third I've had worse. We've had 3 I've had worse in Criminal. Are you kidding me? That's so wild. What? 17 influence. You usually spend it on run events. Oh, Mobius? Okay. It's cute with turning wheel. Of course, they'll play all the Evo so they have 0. That's true, actually. That doesn't make sense together. So they're coming back, getting 4 credits. They're probably clear tag there, yeah. So we do actually get a divested trust, which is kind of cute with the punitive. I didn't want to check this. I think they should have definitely checked this. Like, we could have been on game point if that was an Atlas. It's a program? Yeah, that doesn't matter. This deck has exclusive party. They definitely want lots of draw. Yeah, they definitely do. So this we have to forfeit, and then it puts the agenda in hand, which is not particularly good when they have a turning wheel. I'm just waiting for the big ass embezzle. The embezzle will ruin us, and we need a lot of money to make the punitive any good. Now they're running and seeing a lot of cards here, so our ability is a bit more relevant. We can't afford snare though. It's a news team that's -1. Haha, take that stock buyback. And they trash the price deck. -1 agendas. Yeah, we have no way to trash this. Like, I don't know. This deck doesn't have too big to fail, does it? Uh-oh. Why not? Probably should. I guess we're clicking for credits and just hoping we don't get punitive again. Or sorry, divergent. But that might be too slow. I don't think we need this. Funny part, news team is protecting archives? No need for extra credits? What do you mean? I think we need extra credits if we want to threaten punitive. Like, otherwise, why are we playing punitive? Why are we playing a high profile target too? Like, how? What would they need to do for this to be good? They'd have to end their turn with like 2 tags, which means they'd have to fuck it up really bad. And they're just gonna lock the top of R&D. Like, I don't see how we can possibly win. Ian, how's it going? This is hot jank. Yeah. Do we use this? No. Argus. We can do Argus first? Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that interaction. No. Is this deck from list a week? No, it isn't. VK, how's it going? All right, that's good. So they did see the top couple cards. They are burning through their deck. How did we get that? Maybe we don't throw that out. 6 cards from stock buyback? I don't know. I'm a bit greedy here because we're throwing out hostile. Cool. Because we're throwing out hostile, we're going to need it more. Oh, we actually can't score that. That's fine. I think I would have checked that when we didn't have money, right? Because you can't fire snare. This looks like a snare. If we pay for this for the tag here, we can't score the hostile, but that's whatever. All right, 1 tag. They only have 16 cards left. They might have some recursion in their deck. You could have scored that though. How? Oh, yeah, you're right. We could have. That's fine. Yeah, we totally could have. You're totally right. It's no big deal. It's safe there. Yeah, credit score. That's hard. They're on another news team. They have a tag. I'm gonna regret throwing out a punitive. They're gonna float tags for some reason. Okay, well, whatever. We saved it. I feel like we could have stocked buyback there. Okay, we're on 6 agenda points. If we win the last hostile, we win. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we definitely could have scored it out. My bad. Credit advance. That's a weird pattern. I've never done that. Yeah, they're zeroing through their deck. Like, they're going to actually run out of cards. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We have a buyback that's worth, like, what? 8 credits? That's okay. But they have 21. We haven't been embezzled. Okay, that's 1 too many. We can hold this in our hand and wait till we get an audacity, but I don't think we need to. We'll do this because it's a terminal, so we can't threaten punitive, but not like we're going to. So if they don't run this, we win. Maker's Eye? Trash Prisec. It's another device to trust. No, that's fine. No. I think we win. Unless they float a tag. Oh, I guess we win because they just never ran a remote for some reason. Yeah, I feel like they goofed that. We should not have won that. We did nothing. We just put agendas on top of Mumbet and they never checked it. Yeah, Diagen, you say 60%, but like that's not on us. We didn't do anything too smart. The mind games. There's no reason not to check this. There's literally no reason not to check this. Like, right, like what are we gonna possibly do? Like they're spending, okay, I don't want to sound too harsh to our opponent, but like just to talk about how that went, right? Like they spent so much time and so much money digging really deep into R&D, seeing further than they needed to. And what are we going to do with agendas? Like we have to score them. So they either go into server 2 or go into the remote server. This was only 5 credits. There was turns they had 21 credits. There's no reason not to run this and trash this. Like what's the worst card that could possibly in the remote? Psychic Field. Admittedly, Psychic Field. That could have been the worst that they had, but they had I've had worst at some point. But like there's no card. And again, maybe they didn't know the whole card pool. There's no card in here that's a problem for them. There's really not. And there's no reason for them to go that ham into R&D. There really isn't. Like they could have died there to double snare. They Maker's Eye. If we had double snare, they would have lost. They'd have to hit both of our snares in 15, but like there's a chance they lose there. They got to be expecting Psychic Field, and that's the only explanation. I think even with Psychic Field, it's fine. You run their first click, you draw 4. Like that's fine. Or draw 3, right? Or you draw 4 with 0 in theory, but like who cares? You Psychic Field, you win 33% of the time. You didn't do nothing. You Yomi'd them with the news team and the snares. There's no Yomi. Come on. You know that they don't know, and you have snares. Yo, the number 3. What do you mean? You know that they don't know. The thing is, okay, right? I'm talking like I know the whole card pool, but the thing is, like they don't. That's true. They might not know the whole card pool, but knowing the whole card pool, I don't think there's anything in the server that you have to be scared of. Psychic Field is the worst case, but you just do it first click. You just do it first click. But even then, like going ham into R&D, I don't think can be right. Right? Like how do we possibly win the game? We can't fast advance out that many points. How many points did we score on the table? The first 3-pointer that's hard for them to stop. We scored out 1 hostile slowly, but all these other points, right? Like we have to do something. It's a bluff game. I don't think there's a bluff here. I don't think there's a trap that is a bluff in this deck. Like all the bluffs are inconveniences. Like that's the big thing about Jinteki, right? Like it's a triple advanced Cerebral Overrider is so bad when you hit it. If you hit a snare, it's like, okay, cool. Yo, Casper, how's it going? People still play this game? It stopped being supported though. No. Yeah, we're playing on Nisei.net. Sorry, wow, Jinteki.net. You can play for free entirely. But in terms of support, go to Nisei.net. It's been an organization from fans that are continuing to support the game, print cards, do balance changes and everything. Worlds is in 3 weeks. Drop by if you can. It's fantastic. Sorry if I'm sounding too harsh. I said, how's it going? It's me playing. Now you're talking shit. I was worried about snare and price tag, TBH. Yeah, in the remote, I don't think there's anything to worry about. If it's a snare, you're fine. You're totally fine if it's a snare. Like, I don't think risking the game, like it's either you take a snare to the face, whatever, or I win the game. And that's just not going to favor you. It feels like more a knowledge check. Does your opponent know the worst case and they're willing to just face tank it? Yeah, totally. I was hoping to win quickly off of R&D. I don't think you can possibly win quickly off of R&D, Vincent, right? Like, check this out. You're on 0 agenda points, and I still have a divested trust. It's very hard to win off of R&D, and there's snares. You know, there's 2 snares in circulation, assuming they were on 3 snares. I think you saw 2 snares total. So it's very, very difficult. Yeah, I don't know. Yo, Brick, what's up? I think this worked better when you could play dedicated response team. Exactly, yeah. There's some real traps that could set up situations where if you run the wrong thing, you lose the game. You need like dedicated response team. Or like Ronin with like dedication ceremony or whatever the closest to it. 3 snares? Yeah. No, I know there's 3 snares in the list, but our opponent only saw 2. I think you can assume 3 snares. Yeah. I don't like the Marylands either. There's no reason why you shouldn't trash them. Anyways, it's interesting. I feel like there's certain things that the deck just leads us to. Oh, wow. Stop playing when I heard they were no longer able to keep making cards. I'm so happy to find you here. They're still supporting Casper. Omachi, so Casper, it's great. So there's a lot of cards they printed. You can print and play it on Nisei.net. They have print and play if you want. You can also order them on like officially printed cards from like Make Playing Cards or Drive Through Games, I think is the other one, I think. But it's fantastic. The cards have been great. It's been a very, very good meta. We've just had a couple tournaments over the last month. It's been a fantastic meta. There's also new cards coming out to support the new player experience, specifically in the December. So there's a lot to be excited for, let me tell you. You always run 2 snares. Yeah, you run 2 snares, and then in your deck, you label one with marker 1, and then you label the other marker 3. So you gotta keep them frosty. It is drive-through cards. Thank you, number. It's also kind of a decking against which you only lost once. When you know what they do, so much easier. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Ow, I shouldn't sit like this. Ow, that hurts my knee. All right, what else can we do? It's only 10:30. We got a lot of time. I wanted to play Sid's deck because this is a really fun deck. It won American Continentals, and then nobody is brave enough to play it. Nobody is as wild and as untamed as Sid to figure out how to put a tier in their deck and win huge tournaments with it. I like this list. I think this list is really cool. I wonder how upset people are going to be when they end up playing against Asa. I don't know. Play a punitive Asa? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I have 2 open? Oh, that's interesting. Of course, the ARG is not competitive. It's a good experiment because it sells a good win rate, 60%, showing what it can do. Very few ices. Yo, Diogenes, like, fuck. I feel like I've been pretty, I wouldn't say exactly rude, but maybe not as courteous as I should be. Very much appreciate you spreading, what's it called, sharing the deck. And this is kind of like the issue that I've been struggling with over the last years, is that the difference between something being like competitive and something being fun is like, oh man, it really kind of is a bummer because there's so many things that are like wildly uncompetitive and probably not good. And then sometimes I struggle to have fun with them because I know it's not the case. So that might have been coming through there, which I apologize for. I know not everything's competitive. That's not the point. I think there's ways to tune this deck for sure. I think there are definitely ways to tune this deck. I feel like you just need more unadvanceable traps. Maybe even go Mushin. I think Mushin's very interesting and build a trap pool about it. I think all the unadvanceable cards are probably not worth playing. I don't think Banker's Group is worth playing. I don't think Maryland's worth playing. Even Rashida, it's good if it goes through, but it's not worth playing. Maybe not. I feel like the Trojan Horse, there must be a better way to deal with Stargate, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Stock buyback is probably worth playing more of. That's huge, but I guess only if you need a way to play the money. 3 preemptive seems like overkill. The high profile target, like you need them to fuck up for that to be relevant. I think punitive is a much stronger thing. I think there's a way to definitely polish this. 3 dedication ceremony also, if you could combo that with any of the other traps, like I know it's a lot of influence, but like fucking what's his name? Ronin, stuff like that. Like there's other ways to pull through that. Oh, Giles, thanks for sharing the Slack invite. That's awesome. It's not Asa? What is it? It is Asa. Oh, okay. Weird. Probably only need 1 Trojan Horse, then slot the 1 at Wayland Operation Tutor. Yeah, Consulting Visit seems pretty okay in that deck, as long as you have like cool pocket plays. There's also probably a lot of like really strong operations that nobody plays that are worth considering. Fuck it. Maybe you just get like 1 Marumati on R&D or like 1 border control and then you secure and protect it. Which is probably not the point of playing an Iceless deck, but I don't know. Even just Contract Killers to slam 2 damage if they don't play your remotes. Yeah, Contract Killer is like fine. It's probably fine. Even like a CU. Like CU is a very relevant. Is that still a legal card? I feel like it is. But if you're like on a CU play and they don't run it, like maybe you can do something cool off of that. Like CU into like even Trash Turning Wheel to closed accounts. I don't know. I feel like you have to build a no-win situation. Because I feel like if the runner knows what's up, the no-win situation is for the corp. But that's what's really strong about Jinteki traps. It's like, say you're not even touching the board state, they could be like, okay, that's a Ronin into like a bioethics, I die, or that's a Ronin into a Ronin, I die. And building that situation is so important for a trap deck. IMO. Let's try this. In Iceless, preemptive allows you to keep the dilution of agendas and bring back the traps. Yeah, I get that. I just feel like 3 is maybe 1 too high. when you could just run more traps instead of preemptives, you know? But I could be wrong about that for sure. Ooh, Edward Kim. How many operations we got? 9. Okay. All right, so Wadu 2004. So we have a hand. We're against Edward Kim. 1 link, trashes operation. Opening hand, we have a daily quest. We can't really ice it up too well. Putting it behind a slot machine is pretty lacking, but this hand is, it's honestly not bad. We can mulligan into way worse than this. We'll keep it and hope we draw nice. HB Iceless works very well. HB Iceless, you just go horizontal, right? Cybernetics. Okay, that's interesting. Honestly, don't know how to play this hand. Crazy Among Centrals is good. I don't know what central we care about more. We could probably draw once because we get a double install. That's good. But tier in front of daily quest is a bit dodgy. Not in love with that. Wayland with Argus is viable, and I had not much success with NBN. Oh, you're trying to do all of them. Super cute. Kotz made a deck that's awesome. It's an Iceless deck? Let's see what they're up to. We're not pre-resing this because it would be a disaster. We need basically a lot of money to protect that. Hopefully we'll get there. Cyberdeck Sandbox. Okay, we can draw once. We have a Drafter. Drafter can protect the Mamba Temple. That's probably pretty good. I'm sure we get some money. Drafter's also pretty good on HQ, and we can just get a Jeeves out naked. They don't really have the economy to trash it right now. And we can maybe res this and click for 3. Oh yeah, HB you can just do yeah, you just do News Team. Or not News Team, sorry, Sports Metal. And yeah, it's a very competitive deck. Ice I think makes it better, but I see the Iceless deck being still pretty good. Yeah, Game Changer can always win the game, totally. Res Quest? I don't know. Maybe we should. But like Res and Quest when we can't res the tier seems like a huge liability. Maybe I'm a coward. And they don't know that, so you have to play like that. Oh yeah, we have punitive. Huh, that's cute. So we could click 3 and then do an install. They're not really doing anything. They're setting up cards for the future, which is not very good when they're not drawing cards. Like they should definitely, they're not doing much for their board state. Opening hand, they have a punitive they could trash. I feel like we just want to click for credits here, but that seems really bad against what we should be doing as HB. But I think we have to. I don't know. I think we could have resed this, right? Well, it depends on the order that they charge things. But next turn, we can definitely res our daily quest. And if they click through the tier, we can score the 4-2 out of hand if we have enough money. We're at 8 credits. Maybe they want us. No, not yet. Peddler, got some options. Draw for gear check, install sandbox. Yeah, I think that's fair. Dirty Laundry coming HQ. 2 good hits. Cybernex Court. Don't really want to trash that for 5, I don't think. Wow, they do. Down to 6 credits again. Dirty Laundry bringing them back up. Street Peddlers online. They're coming back in. They punitive Counter-Strike. That's huge information about the deck. We can't res this. Another one. Hate to see it. I think we have to like... That's good enough. Jim Smash. Mistake trash? Yo, Kevin, yeah, I don't think you trashed that. It did make the accesses better on HQ, and they probably think we have 2 agendas in hand, and feeling pretty okay after trashing a single punitive. I don't know whether we have recursion in this list that we can actually bring back the punitive. We have a single preemptive, and this is our last punitive, so our kill options, let alone for someone who's running iPad Wars, is pretty difficult. Street Peddler was popped for the Poimo for free, and losing a daily cast and a labor rights. All right, coming HQ here. Helheim servers, probably trashed that for 3. But again, their economy is, they're just not, I don't think doing enough. We're not exploding off the board, but like, I think our board state is pretty good. Okay, we'll res this for free. And now we can definitely, yeah, that's good. So they haven't shown a breaker just yet, but they could easily be on a boomerang, but their economy is pretty low. Oh, shit. Jeeves. So we'll triple click and then install this, and then we will pre-res this. I don't think we have the money for everything, but this at least forks them. Okay, so daily quest will give us good money. We still have the Maryland, and if they don't trash our Jeeves, we can score out the Cyberdeck Sandbox, which will be good money on top of that. We can always purge with Jeeves every turn before doing a double install with Asa. Daily cast Puemo, they do have a lot of money to work with. Puemo does give them a credit back from Keiko, so they have like 8 credits right now. The Hunting Grounds actually does matter. They're running the Hagen. Sure. We can still res our tier, which is good. Fire Unbroken, it does nothing. We can't trash anything, it ends the run. It doesn't do nothing. It just doesn't trash a Rozeki or something. There's a Boomerang we talked about. Coming from hand, it's for free. So they're going to get an agenda. Yeah, this is what happens. Channel you interested and get the punitive back with Helheim Drafter. Alright, so we'll punitive them. Got the sandbox. Boomerang's coming back again. Ah, Kim. We're on the back foot for sure. Maryland daily quest. A lot of money. Vacheron. Is that worth just jamming? I feel like it is worth just jamming. We can slow jam it. Yeah, that's fine. And then next turn we can score out with Jeeves if we really care to. So now I have a Gatekeeper, which will be good. Draw 3 is kind of bad with an open HQ, but at least we'll be able to filter agendas if we need to. And they only have, again, 8 credits worth of value. A fully operational will be pretty good here. We only have 13 credits. We do have 2 on the temple. That's the second peddler, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good card draw. Scoring this doesn't do much for us, but it's good enough. We could even slow roll this if we build something, draw something else we want to lay out. Okay, yeah, we'll just score this. Jeeves and score. Okay, nothing too flashy so far. It's an HB. All right, top of turn, they're going to make 3 credits with Puemo. Maybe something comes off the Peddler. Peddler probably holding a program at this point. But they need Gatekeeper. They need 2 answers here. They could, in theory, do double board Boomerang if they have one on the Peddler. And one from hand. Excuse. Stargate. That's fine. We can get the Chrysium there. It's behind a slot machine, which they can definitely get through. We'll res the slot machine. So we'll put the Chrysium there after that, and probably with the Drafter on top of it. So they're gonna be able to control what we draw here. Now, if they had a Hagen here, it would have been brutal. Unless they can't even afford it off the Street Peddler. Fire all. They lose 3. Yeah, Hagen would have trashed the Stargate if they don't have a pocket solution. Turning Wheel coming down. They trashed a Stim Hack and Dirty Laundry, so no programs at all so far. It's a tier, Rashida, and a Vitruvius. All right. So we're gonna draw a tier. More Rashida. I think we're gonna have to let the 2-pointer go. Let's see if they trash here. They might trash the tier. I assume they're trashing the Vitruvius, but I don't know how they deal with tier. We haven't seen like a hippo yet. Tier is unique though, so it's not like we can res both of them, but it's an interesting choice. Cool thing is they trash the tier. Like we're gonna install the Drafter here on RD. It's gonna look like a tier. It's gonna be sick. Put Drafter on archives. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, we're actually gonna shuffle our deck with the Maryland campaign. Yeah, that's fine. We'll draw something else. We still drew a tier? What the fuck? That's a 1 in 31. That's super unlikely. They have 2 credits. So we want to do draw, double install. Eli. I feel like Eli's good enough on R&D. They think this is a tier, but they might have noticed that we shuffled. Don't forget the Chrysium. Yeah, definitely not. Thank you, Menlo. Yeah, we definitely want that. It stops the Stargate and they have to trash it. Dirty Laundry going HQ? I'm assuming. Yeah. That Jeeves probably should have been trashed by now. And they're building turning wheel counters, so we probably want some ice there to stop the free counters. Jaina no longer deconstructs old servers. Is that an option? I wonder why they did that. And our money is going unchecked. Yeah, if we have a click, we'll put a tier in front of HQ. It'll be fun. They're still not showing an answer to this remote. They might throw out a program here. Wow, not even. What's in hand? Maryland. Okay, we'll draw once. We'll draw twice. We'll draw a third time. And we can double install into this remote. So we'll do server 6. This with Jeeves is super strong. And in front of this, we can install another piece of ice. I think we're going to do another gatekeeper. Just because that's really hard to break on the res. And it's relatively cheap. But if they don't trash this, we'll get a token on here and we can bring back the Vitruvius and then we can win. I don't think this list has a biotic. We're not showing any of the cool stuff, but we do have tier, which has been cool. Yeah, we don't have a biotic, so we have to score on the table. We haven't drawn a fully operational. Be a lot of money right now. They're pretty sure that this is a tier, which is good fun. They also saw Helheim, which might be what they think is on R&D, and that's kind of terrifying. But they have no programs so far. Nothing. Oh, all good. Unchallenged daily quest doing work. Yeah, it really is. It's hard for them to challenge this thing. We res this for 8. It's still a lot of our money. Does asset and ice install count as the same type of click for Jeeves? Yeah, it just counts as an install. Like on the basic action card is a click to install a card. It doesn't matter what you install. As long as you install, it's the same type of action. So install counts. It's also worth noting that if you double install with asset, it counts as a single install because you did the install action. Maybe they're playing program lists at Ed. We've seen one so far, but yeah, who knows? Maybe they've just been really unlucky. Yeah, maybe they'll throw out 2 programs here. They have to. Keiko and Spooned? Are they on Eater? No, where are their programs? All right, we got a Helheim. We're just gonna get this out. And we'll get the counter on it. It's obviously good. And all our economy is tied up in the single daily quest that they're not challenging. And like, again, it is in front of a tier, so it's hard. But there's reasons why they would want to. Oh, wow. Okay, Ngolo, that makes more sense with the spoon. Probably should have seen that coming. And they're running here into archives. Now, this is a really good res for us because they have to break this for 2, 4, 5, 6 credits, and we res it for 1. And it puts it into HQ with the Vitruvius counter, and then they can pull it with the turning wheel. So maybe we don't pull it? I think we do pull it. Yeah, we probably still pull it. Yeah, that's 6. Spoon Golo? Yeah, I think it totally is. So we'll use this. We'll pull into HQ. If they don't get it, like, whatever. If they get it, whatever. If they don't, we jam it. But this pulls pressure off something. They will probably spend turning wheel tokens on this as well. Just having a single piece of ice on front of HQ is a big deal. They can see 2 here if they want, or they can just build up turning wheel tokens. They can't see more than that. Hagen? Vitruvius, foiled again. All right, that's fine. They got it. Puemo. Ngolo does actually get through this whole server. I think it's going to be a bit too expensive for them. All right, I think that's our play. So we'll do triple install, huh? We'll do server 6 to find our winning agenda with the Helheim for protection. We'll put something in front of HQ. And then here, it doesn't really matter what we do. I think we can just install a Maryland. I think we should probably be drawing, but I feel like Rashid is going to draw enough for us. That's probably a bit foolish. We'll just put this on R&D. That's probably a bit too expensive, whatever. Mamba Temple too strong. It's been a bit good. Man, Ngolo. We got to worry about that spoon play, though. Liberated, that's good economy, but it is a bit slow. So we'll res this for free. And we'll res Rashida. Gain 3. That's agenda in here, right? Yeah. Oh, we're on food. Fascinating. I think we're just going to do install advance. So then we don't have to worry about the Jeeves. That's the wrong server by a mile. If they steal this, we just jam something else. But our server will be pretty bad if they steal this. Non-agenda? No, thanks. So with Helheim, we can make the gatekeepers massive. We can make them 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but it's only for the run. Stim hack. We have 1 click left. Okay, so they're respecting Ikoa project. I think we dump our whole hand. Thinking. Don't they win if they steal the Vacheron? No, the Vacheron, they have to win. They have to hold on for 4 more turns. So it's totally fine. I think we just res nothing here, huh? I think we res nothing. Maybe better to buff Strength of Hagen to just get better boost rates? Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking, but they break this for free. So the thing is, like, this does all ice. It might have actually been worth boosting. Wait, I might have goofed it, right? This is 6 strength. Wait, hold on. This is 6 strength. So a boost 2. So we can make it another 8 strength. So there'd be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 plus 16. And this would be 5 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, they could still get in. That's fine. I think it's fine. This is still pretty expensive for them. No, I'm kidding. It's free. How many stim hacks is that? Second. I've had worse, got hit by brain damage. That always feels good. But they have 21 credits. Oh yeah, we have these. Okay, we can do install advance and then hope, but that's not amazing. Ideally, we want to do a never advance play, but the only thing that we can do that is with Vitruvius or the Cyberdeck Sandbox, which is only 1 more Vitruvius. So everything else we have to install advance and then hope the Jeeve survives. So I don't like that play because it gives too much control to them. We can do install advance. Man, I wish we had the tier on this remote by a huge margin because they actually couldn't get through the tier into the Hagen. I think putting the tier not on the server that has Helheim is a huge mistake. That's on me. And we have 2 tiers here, so that's a huge mistake. If only you have the Vitruvius counter so you could punitive. Yeah, we need 2 of them though. But you're right. We need 2 punitives. Yeah, we goofed. I think the ice positioning wasn't good. I don't think we're going to need the tier up here. Especially because so little of our deck actually wins. There's only 1 more agenda. They need to get 2 of the last agendas, right? Because Vacheron. So I think we just jam every turn. I don't know if that's right. But yeah, a tier here would have been so good. And we're now on the clock and literally on the clock. So if we don't have anything to boost this, and then the server gets really bad if we don't win, right? Like this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's like more than half their money. They have 3 on Paladin. Keiko. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if we just push this over here would be fine. Draw. We also kind of showed that we don't have border control here. Liberated? Spooned. Okay. Well, we'll res the gatekeepers because they're pretty shit after they've done their thing. This is not respecting a co-op project, which they have some reason to respect. Okay, thinking. So this is 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we can res it. Maybe not actually. No, probably not. So no, what other ice do we have that could possibly be taxing here? Eli. This changes very little. This is 2 credit boost if we don't res it here. Whatever. Angolo deals with this really well. I don't know if we're gonna win this one. Still 5 strength. Doesn't really matter. It's 2 to paint, 2 to boost. They also could save a credit to trash their Stargate if they really wanted to. Res to eat the spoon? Yeah, we definitely did. All right, 3 credits. Ico would have gone through here. They're on food. And they're on 3 credits, but next turn they can always do liberate. So our window for the remote is like really bad. I wish we had more things that were advanceable. I think we can actually bluff out like Rashida. Oh wait, that's a good card. What are we drawing into though? That's good. Now this is the gender that they get, they win. They might actually not have an answer to this. We could have thrown out so many other better stuff than that. Hope they don't find the Vitruvius. I feel like this is actually difficult for them. Like they only have 3 credits and then we have double barrier. Maybe. And they might just be like, okay, that's a sandbox or something and they run this, but there's a chance that this works. Like they need both, they need either a breaker, which I don't know if they have. So they basically need from hand, boomerang, and then they need like a stim hack or the clicks to liberate it. So this is pretty likely that it works. Like we lose here to boomerang stim hack, I think. Yeah, we win. Sick. Yeah, we needed an Eli or we needed a Hagen. We basically needed barriers here because they're just not playing breakers. They could definitely put heat breakers into this deck, but they didn't. They're just all on Ngolo. And that'll do it. Good game. Yeah, they didn't even have the money to deal with Hagen. They could have clicked with Liberty and at least contested, but we hadn't enough money. Buying a scoring window full price. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, Boomerang Stim Hack would have done it, for sure. We didn't have a fast enough opening. I feel like we could open that a lot faster. Also, like the fact that Kim D-toothed their punitive is a really big deal. There's not too many decks that can deal with that, but that was cool. I also, if we put our tier onto the remote server, like huge difference, huge difference. Because I don't know if they have any good way to deal with this. Like, what is the break? It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or 9 to spoon it. It's not the worst, but like then it's really good for us. All right, let's try that again. Corp. That's the only problem with like the agenda suite that we have is the tiers are so expensive. Other lists have Fairchild 3, so it's a lot easier to get an early protection on your daily quest, which seems so important, and we don't have that. So like we have to basically hope that we get an early Gatekeeper and early Hagen for it. Even an Eli is probably good enough. Hey, Murska. Ooh, 419. That can be difficult. So maybe no pad tab. Maybe no pad tab. So we have Cybernetics Cord into Violet level clearance. So we can ice that. We can ice HQ. It's probably worth doing. Oh, we don't have to ice this out. Maybe we do. Do we have to ice up Cybernetics Cord? I feel like we might have to. Do we have to? Oh, Chrism Grid's really good. I feel like if they get a Miss Bones and trash this early, we're in a really bad spot because we're going to have a whole hand of cards. Ah, fuck it. I'll ice it. That might be wrong. A Violet level clearance. Here we go. All right. A couple agendas. No more ice. That's a problem. Chrism Grid helps in this matchup. Citadel Sanctuary, Rogue Trading. So it's a tag me list. So we could not really want to boost into this. We could, but it would be pretty backbreaking. Actually, no, we can't. But that at least is a very expensive card in terms of tempo and time and tempo. So that's good. That's what we want. We could jam out an agenda. They might want to boomerang this. We're going to pre-res this anyway, so I don't care if they know what it is. Man, I'm really excited to see this sort of list. This sort of list I had a lot of fun playing. Oh, they're going to go for it. That's fine. So we probably want to res this, otherwise they can bounce off this over and over again. We have another one though, which is fine. And then they're gonna rogue. They want to set up more. I like that. Oh, our hand is clumsy. Now Helheim doesn't do anything here. Come on, boomerang us again. Ugh, 419, one of my least favorite runner IDs. But at least they look to be playing a novel deck style. Fucking hell. Okay, we lost our daily quests. Our money's gonna be really shit. I wouldn't call this exactly novel, but it's different than some of the normal ones, or the main ones, that's for sure. I hate boomerang. I hear you, man. I hear you. So this will make us draw a fair few. I think we need to. So this will put us at 7 plus 3, so that's 10. So we throw out 1, that's fine. What do we throw out? Helm's not good against boomerang, but the rest of her hand is. I feel like it's the worst card in her hand. This flood? Yeah, this is not good. Our brain damage deck's still a thing? Still is a weird word, because I don't think it ever really was a competitive archetype. But no, I would say no. Not competitively. There's some fun brain damage deck cards. Unfortunately, one of the best one has left recently, but somewhat. All right. Open centrals, that's a problem for the turtle, but I feel like we can't stop free turtle counters. From here, what do we want? We have a lot of options here for sure. I think Gatekeeper on the remote is probably pretty good. I don't think we are very good to score out. Actually, scoring out the Cyberdeck Sandbox is probably fine. So we could do Sandbox with Gatekeeper. We could do Jeeves Naked first. No, yeah, we'll do this. Score the Cyber, yeah, I think that's good. Six credits to score though. It's pretty hard. Unless you count P with Cerebral Overriders, that's true. That is true. There's some brain damage cards that are really strong. But it's hard to do it like efficiently without doing like big traps. I miss you, what's it called? Kill Switch. Kill Switch was good. Ah, Jeeves gone. Makes sense. It's good. Okay, so we have to score this slowly. We'll go ahead and res this. Hagen's good. Hagen's actually really, really good against Amakwa. But our money is the problem. We do this anyways just because we want to build remotes. And they should probably be checking HQ. Prevent 1 card to prevent exposure. Yes. I don't think we can advance this because we're going to need Gatekeeper cards, so we probably should. I don't know. Scoring the Cyber is so important. Oh, wow, that's a drafter. That's good. I was hoping actually that was a Hagen to trash the Amakwa. So this is good. So this is going to fire the subs. So what are the subs? You may add 1 card from Archives to HQ. Okay. And you may install 1 card from Archives or HQ, ignoring all costs. Oh, that's important. Ugh. Cool. They definitely trash Rashida, so Amku counters are a bit limited. So with this will be a 4 credits, so we can't res both of these. We're a bit short. So you're going to run into this. I think we have to res this, which means we're going to lose that. That's fine. But this lets us filter our hand. And fortunately, they're a bit better in HQ. Now this is really bad because they can get cheap axes with Amakua. That might have been a mistake, actually. So what is this? Draw that many cards? So we'll draw 3. Shuffle up to 3 agendas. Okay. Food, Vacheron, whatever. Take care of your flood? Yeah, kind of. But like R&D is wide open. Ah, they're trashing our money. Ah, they're playing it smart. We have no money. Feels bad. God, this is rough. We need a fully operational. Oh, we do have one. Damn, we're good. That's so good. Oh man. Oh man. Ugh, feels good. Yeah, we do have a fully. That's the card you want to recur, if anything. I think if we would just click for a credit, like they might try and diversion us. So like we have the Crisium, which is nice, and their money is not amazing right now. Falsified is pretty strong. Violet? Oh yeah, we could have violated there. I think you're right. Violet would actually probably be fine. We should have violated there. I think you're totally right. I forgot about that. I usually think 5 hand size and then we're done. Oh, we get this virus suite. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, my friends. How good is this? The perfect answer into another fully operational. Purge Amakua, gain 4. Oh my god, you hate to see it. I'm kidding, you love to see it. Stupid turtle. I just wrote fuck Amakua. Yo, you're just hating on everything here. Res Hagen? Yo, Amakua's going down. Okay, at least they don't have to depend on that. We can always just purge now and install, double install. And now the Gatekeeper's better because they don't have an Amakua. Oh, okay, we're coming back. Mayor Splitsville, what's up? What is the Jinteki for Jumpstart? I want to play and build Apex again with adjustments. It seems playable. Hashtag Menturtle. It is reteki.fun. Reteki.fun. I didn't wait for it to load, but I promise you it's there. Okay, so I think here we can purge install Vitruvius with the tier in front of it. No, we just purge install Vitruvius, I think, with Helheim. We want to keep our money up so they can't rely on rogue trading. Cool. Want a Virtue fully op VLC? Oh shit, that's a lot better. What do they do? They expose Helheim servers. They get upgraded. They got it. Shit. Can you purge with no virus cards now? Yeah, they changed it. You definitely can. You totally can. I think you're right. I think fully operational would have been way better for tempo. I tunneled way too much. But this gets us a fully op back, which is good. Yeah. The other play was leagues better. We're on game point. And we have access to 2 fully operationals. And punitive, if they steal a 3-pointer. But they do have Citadel Sanctuary, so punitive seems pretty lame. Oh wait, are they apocalypsing us? No, thank God. And we didn't have credits for Crisium. I was sweating there for a second. Okay, Eli's okay on R&D. I feel like we want to do something ineffective, like inefficient. Like I think we need to put a card behind here just to get more money at fully op. So we'll do we'll do Maryland first. God, what a card. And then we can jam, I guess we could jam the Vitruvius in here. Or we put the Eli and HQ on R&D. I don't care too much about that. Like our deck is mostly at this point Vacherons. Scoring this doesn't help us too much though. Like we just kind of want an agenda, like a 3-point agenda, excuse me. We may have wasted our install. We could have probably been better to just do like Mumbad with Eli or something like that. Yeah, than putting this behind that. It's a bummer. I don't know if we can ice up everything. Putting this on R&D seems okay, but it's not a really good tempo play. We'll just put this in server 2. Imagine an APOC now. It'd be pretty okay. There you go. There's the Vacherons we're talking about. So we can do 3 damage here with a punitive. If they steal another 3-pointer, they're in a problem. Inside job. Ooh. Sick. Lost the Jeeves. Doing 3 credits, 4 credits, 5 credits. Okay, that's fine. So res our Maryland campaign. We'll res Rashida. Okay, so we can score a food out from here, and we have a huge hand size to dump into the Gatekeeper. So I think we're just gonna do install advance. Yeah, I think we just do install advance. Select a non-agenda to install. Should we? That's probably bad. Can you kill? No, there's no way we can kill. They have Citadel Sanctuary. So all we have to be able to res is the Gatekeeper plus Helheim servers, and we're a pretty good spot. That'd be 3, 4, 5, so we're less with 3 credits with Maryland, so we might be able to score out. And if they're going to rely on their Amakua to deal with the Hagen, the Gatekeeper is going to be a problem for them. So looks like we win the game here. We just res the Gatekeeper, we win. Yeah, good game. Hey, good game. It's just really hard for them to put a pressure on and like still threaten our board state. Obviously, we could have played that way more efficiently, I think, in terms of like getting economy and rolling. But this deck, I don't think was at all touched by the changes, and obviously it's very good. Thanks for the game. Now, Sid's version is definitely a bit different than some of the more the standard versions you've probably seen more, like Tablet Asa, stuff like that. I'm worried about this deck. Like, I feel like the rogue trading might be a bit too slow, but once it's up, it's really good. But like it's so many clicks, right? Like to install this, then to double click it at return, you need to have the Citadel down. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely a huge econ card. Like 18 credits on a single card is nuts. It's really, really good. All right, we can definitely do one or maybe two more. Is there anything we want to try out specifically? Again, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of people publishing lists, but is there like a faction or something we want to try out? I want to do a lot of testing, hopefully. Terrence, what's up? Little surprised there's no Asa hits. Yeah, so I kind of feel you with that. They specifically said that they think that removing the heavy Glacier matchup of GameNet is going to help people tech more against Asa, but maybe then somebody else just takes that hard spot. Some jank Apex. It's never Apex. I get so salty when I play Apex. Apex struggles to do anything. Earth Station. Yeah, I like Earth Station. What's the last Earth Station? The last Earth Station we played was a huge Glacier deck. And it doesn't win a lot. But the idea is still sound. Bellamy, Stinja. I feel like there's problems with this deck. I feel like I changed this deck recently. Yeah, we can try this. This one's slow. We'll try this. This is a really slow deck. This is like the sort of Wayland agenda suite that you could see sometimes. Like SSL, STS drone deployment. Oh, no, we have to change this. Excuse me. Oh, that's really bad. So we have to play SSL endorsement, and then we have to play like City Works Project. I guess we could play Hollywood, but it's not particularly good. Oh man, losing SSL endorsement in this deck sucks. Because we're not going to play, we're not playing Punitive. Do we play Hollywood? What does Hollywood even do? Hollywood means the ice has to be advanceable, right? Influence up for GFI. The thing is, like, GFI doesn't make any sense in a list that runs other 3-pointers. Right? Because the runner wins on 3 steals almost regardless, unless they steal every single food, which is super unlikely. How about building an Underwear Reno deck? Yo, Underwear Renovations is one of my favorite cards. I always add it to like an Argus list or an outfit list as like, I'm going to instead play this as my 2 1-pointers, and it never works out well. It's just way too expensive, but it's such a cool pet card. Been playing Earth La Costa Kill for a while now. Haven't tested with that SSL. Are you on traps, I take it? All right, so advance, may place 1 advancement token on another card that can be advanced. So we'd have to go, it works okay with their mass comms, but like we took out Mesfingos from this deck. A lot of our ice actually isn't advanceable anymore. Just Colossus, Mouseless. That's it. So actually this is pretty bad. Oh, this deck got goofed up. Maybe we could go to something a bit faster and like run like Food, Oaktown, Atlas, like that sort of list, which would probably be okay. That would probably be fine. Giles, do you have a list you want to share? I'd be down to try something. La Costa is really fun in Earth Station. I'm kind of bored of Jinja City Grid. Armed Intimidation, HHN, HPT, boom. Yeah, Giles, do you have a list to share? I'd be down to play that for sure. That sounds kind of fun. Underwear Renovation is such a fun card, though. It's just like, it's so hard to build a deck that can afford to keep this up and then have that as a win condition, right? Like, against Criminal, very, very strong. Against Shaper, it can be hard. You'd have to play Arc Lockdown. Anarch, sometimes it does nothing. You need Arc Lockdown. I'd be willing to try CityWorks. It's good for like adding stuff they have to deal with on their run turn. But the problem with like CityWorks Project, right, it adds something, but what it adds is very little unless you commit to it. Like dedicating it, that makes it a lot better. But having Punitive, having a way to pressure it on top is really important. I feel like if you don't have Punitive, it's probably not worth a slot. There's other 5/3s that are probably better. Is Atlas a 1 agenda only restriction now? No. Oh, not at all, Barry. Just in this deck is that we only have 1 of it in the list because we only want to play 20 agenda points. So we run 18 3-pointers, like 18 points worth of 3-pointers and a single Atlas. But Atlas is a really good agenda. A lot of decks will run 3 of it. Is Earth Station competitive? I don't know. I really doubt it. I want to see a competitive Earth Station deck. I wonder how. Go away, last pass. I wonder how similar it looks. Stack Price 6 in the remote? You could, but anybody can do that, right? Earth Station just makes it like less likely that I ever find him. This is pre-ban. Okay. Thanks, Giles. Okay, so it's 2 SSL. Easy fix. Easy fix. False lead, armed intimidation. Okay, this looks fun. Surveyor Trebuchet. This is the new ban I just edited. Okay, so I'm not going to open that just yet. Let's see what maybe we'd consider. Don't look at it. What we'd consider. So I feel like that's way too few ice, but maybe this is a leaner deck. You need to protect HQ pretty heavily. You do have Chrysium that kind of helps, but that's a bit of a bummer. This is a tech card, which I don't know if is necessary, but I could see why you'd want it. IPO high profile target, a single HPT and a consulting visit. Okay, so not the biggest thing with hard hitting news. 2 economic warfare, that's a bit mean. You have Rashida with dedicated. No, you don't have dedication, but again, you don't have the other card that goes with it. I think you could drop SSL for maybe running maybe if you want to do punitive, but maybe that doesn't make sense. You also have boom, so maybe it's high profile boom. Okay. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like the ice suite is a bit lacking, Trebuchet, that's a card. Surveyor seems hard to get value out of when you have this few ice. False lead's really mean. The Agenda suite, like, how do you win? You have to score an SSL, then like the single Atlas, and then a bunch of 1-pointers. Oh, I guess you can score this out. Seems hard to score out. All right, 5-5-3. So 6-4-3. Not same amount of ice. Spiderwebs are really good. I can see that after our mouse list, so we're removing the Whoredom. Whoredom is not that bad anymore, I think, without the Pat Tap. Surveyor and a single Trebuchet. Armed Intimidation, Corporate Sales Team. Oh, cute. It's the same amount of agendas? No, it's 1 more. NGO, single Rashida, reverse decans, boom, consulting visit, high profile target. Okay, Lacosta. Oh yeah, it's a Lacosta deck. I wonder if you just ended up playing Biovault. Escape Net is because you lose the turning wheel too much. Yeah, I totally believe that. I think the only reason to play this modernly is turning wheel. Why not go the Cyberdex route? Yo, Diogene. Yeah, you could. The thing with the Cyberdex route is like, how often are you going to purge? And I don't think the deck wants to run CVS, but Cyberdex is probably, I feel like Corporate Sales Team is pretty legit if you're not running like Macrophage. I'll try this for sure. I only played Argus in my shop. Everyone thought I was crazy. I have the most kills at the shop though. Yo, Argus has been, in terms of like competitive Netrunner, a very, very strong identity since it's come out. I think Argus is very good. Go keep killing people. Plus no Pat Taps. Yeah, Sales Team is a lot better without Pat Taps for sure. I'm so worried about having this little ice though. And reverse accounts without dedication seems rough. But I guess Lacosta, huh? I'll try it. Let's try this. Okay, so Lacosta. I'm pretty sure in the design document for Nisei's set, they said the pronunciation for this is Lacosta, not Lacosta. But everyone's calling it Lacosta. And now I'm doubting myself. I think that's just peer pressure. Can anyone back me up on that claim? I might need to dig it up again. Well, that's a creative bot. I'm going to ban that 1 second. Get out. All right, let's try this. I mean, in Spanish, it's O, not A. What do you mean? But I don't know. I don't know what might have changed in the centuries. So you think in Spanish would be La Costa? Or a corp. Costa, like coast, not cost. Oh, okay. That supports me. I'll take that. I'll take that. Wall for HQ, Ice and Rashida? Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds fair. Mull for Rashida. That was a conversation also on the ShadowNet, but like how much of a difference it is of having Rashida in your opening hand versus not having Rashida in your opening hand. Like, it's one of the strongest cards that you can have in your mulligan. This game is not good with pulling that sort of information. I don't play Hearthstone anymore, but a lot of the Hearthstone deck trackers will like, they'll look at deck win rates, but they'll also look at like your hand win rate. Like, if you have this card in your opening hand, how much does it improve your win rate? So you'll see certain cards that deck that game has a mana curve, so like holding low mana cards is important. But it'll be like, if you have this card in your opening hand, even if it's like a 9 mana card because it's so strong, you have like a 60% win rate, as opposed to like not having it in your hand this other card which has a 44% win rate when kept. And I have no doubt that Rashida is like one of the highest win rate cards in opening hand. Yeah, 30 ice is low. I think you're right, Daijin. Okay, opening hand. We're against Leela, which can be brutal. Definitely brutal, but we do have a Spiderweb for HQ. I'm so scared of mulligan into less ice than this. Yeah, right? Thanks, you too. Pronounce it like the thing that holds your cups up if you respect wood. What? Like, oh, coaster. La Costa. Yeah, right. I feel like we can keep this, but this is not a great hand. Well, at least we have like hedge funds IPO. Yeah, whatever. We can do worse than this against Leela. Is terrifying. You get no ice, they just rip you apart. But they could also like, oh yeah, okay. They could run centrals and rip you apart. HQ will just go to very few cards. At least they can't boomerang this. Ooh, corporate sales team. Sorry, I mean, wow. Fisk investment. That's sick. That's really good for us. Steel and armed intimidation. Okay. Bounce this. Diversion. Tapworm. Rozeki. Good. Julian, what's up? So much I was thinking in the morning about teching against Rashida. How do you want to tech against Rashida? Okay. After on HQ, not bad. We have a lot of money, so purging the Tapworm would be cute. We have Chrysium. I feel like we have to leave R&D open. Like, we have so little ice that this seems like such a problem. I feel like we can't. They're going to get 3 credits off the top of their turn. At least their money's bad. And then we have to like purge next turn, which is going to be difficult. Chip or virtual? Neither. Huh. Polop? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is fucked. This is a problem. I don't think we can beat this. Border control. I think we purge, right? We can't give them 2 credits a turn. That's a bummer. I really like TBB version of Leela. What's that look like? Ooh, blueberry. So they're getting 2 credits a turn. Hernando Cortez is online, so it's 7 credits to res our Spiderweb. Looks bad, y'all. Looks pretty bad. So we need to be able to score this with 3 clicks left. 3 clicks left. All right, we're flipped. Oh, the TB. I thought you meant of a deck list. Yeah. The version from the reboot thing. Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, so we res this. It's a very expensive, but then we'll be under Hernando Cortez. They won't get the boomerang back because we can res the Chrysium. Yeah, I think we have to res it. So we're down to 9. And they have a very big chance of getting a bounce here, and we lose the entire game. If they don't get a bounce, we're so lucky. And this is going to be able to deal the Chrysium. We've got absolutely stomped. 100% absolutely stomped. We have no chance. That gets trashed. For free. Fall asleep from HQ. Gonna bounce this ice. Oh, they bounced Rashida. Really? Oh, because they didn't flip. Yeah, that makes sense. And they're still making 2 credits a turn. Okay, this is bad. But then again, it usually is. They need a boomerang to get in here, and then they flip, and at that point we lose. I don't know, y'all. I have no idea what we can possibly do here. Oh, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling of not having a good play. Maybe I just have to be more confident with like these brazen plays. It looks like we got away with it. This looked like an NGO front. That's huge. Your situation is bad, period. Yeah, Kevin. I know. It's bad. Now putting this back on R&D is not even that good because we can't do anything with it. And their caddy is going to slow roll into money, but at least we got, oh no, well, we'll have 3 credits. We'll put this on R&D, I guess. We can thread into Resit. A brutal Leela matchup. Yeah, it's pretty hard. It's not easy. Ooh, Paragon. It's one of the worst. I'd believe it. I feel like Leela is a lot of people's worst matchup. She seems good. Oh, hard-hitting news. Did not expect that. Do we have a consulting visit into Too Big to Fail? No. Okay. That's okay. Do we want a Rashida? I feel like we might have to. I don't think we thought that turned out well enough. We could have maybe actually jammed an Atlas. Like, this remote is really hard for them. We have 6 credits. They do have 12. Ooh, an Amina. All right. Well, that's another Chrysium that we're going to spend 3 credits down the drain, and they're going to get a bounce again. At least this is a lot of money for them. Shit, Miss Bones. You need Lacosta? Yeah, I think like we really do. Man, Miss Bones got value. Oh, they got an Armed Intimidation. They're on game point. Oh, bounce to Rashida again. And mainly their money is bad now. Always Rashida? Alex says, I think I dislike most of the Crim cards. Why? Why do you think that? All right, now we hard-hitting news them. And then we hopefully win. Yeah, I think we definitely do hard-hitting news them. I think we want to draw first. So we have less agendas in hand. Fucking shit. Okay. And we'll have 4 credits. So we can consulting visit into a high-profile target. We also can just die. It's good that's not an R&D because we can't res the ice, right? Like, that wasn't the worst. We win. We win the game. What? Yep, GG. Okay. 14 points and 20 cards versus Leela? Yeah, that was really bad. Should've went to 2. Yeah, I couldn't boom. Yeah, they could have cleared the tags. I have 4 more agendas in HQ. Yeah, they had many ways to win that. Thanks, you too. Okay, yeah, that was rough. That was really rough. So they goofed it. Like, let's look at their last turn, what they did. So what Biz was doing, so they had 10 credits. They drew, they gambled, and they removed 1 tag. So there's 2 big breakpoints, right? They had, I don't know how many cards in hand, 4 cards in hand. So with 2 tags, they survive the high profile target, which will take out their whole hand. They died to double high profile target. It's worth knowing we only have 4 credits. So if we had both high profile targets in our hand, which this deck doesn't have, yes, they would have died. But that's pretty unlikely considering we didn't Rashida and we didn't draw that much. The other thing they could have done is cleared 2 tags. So then we couldn't have boomed them. Sorry, excuse me. If they cleared 2 tags, we could have boomed them, but we would need in our hand, we would both need boom, and we would also need something like easy mark or Too Big to Fail. So I think Biz made a call there. I feel like their call was a bit aggressive considering they're already on 5 points and we were only on 2. I think they should have made the safe play and definitely stripped down to only 2 tags. Yeah. That's what I mean when the runner do not respect tags though. Yeah, Diogen, like I hear you when you say the runner doesn't respect tags, but I think that's strictly the wrong play. Like that is asking for your opponent to mess up, and I don't like decks that force your opponent to do that. Like Biz is a good player, and I think they took the aggressive line because I don't know, this is not a world championship or anything, but like I feel like that was strictly wrong. I think when they're up this head of points and our board state looks like this and we're on 3 credits, you clear the tags. Because if they clear the tags, we 100% would have lost the game. And I think Biz realized that. Like Biz said, like I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, Biz is a great player. Yeah, yeah, they did that was a goof. Justin, what's up? Way too aggressive today. I'm Biz the dad. He should have been more conservative. Yo, good game. Thanks for the game. Yeah. I think yeah. If you clear 2 tags, we would need like the god hand to be able to kill. But yeah, you were totally gonna win if you clear the tags. For sure. Hey, cheers. Cool. Let's try another one. I want to see the Lacosta hit the table. Lacosta looks really fun. Ooh, Alice. She's interesting. Opening is garbage. That's why I don't like Surveyor in a deck that has 13 ice. Like the chance of making this trace 4, you have to work for it. Thanks, you too. So the pressure for Archives is pretty hard. I think you do want to ice up Archives, otherwise you bleed a card a turn. We do have high profile into hard hitting. That's kind of nice. This is not good though. APOC? Yeah, easily could be. But we do have 3 Crisium and 2 Bora control, so like that's okay. He says after being APOC many times playing Earth Station. But yeah, I think Alice you most often see APOC in the list. Okay, opening hand here. I think we just jam out NGO front. And then we'll throw out, I don't know, probably the IPO. We can only build 1 remote server. We could draw Rice. It's like what, 13 and 43? So like 1 in 3.5 or something. I'll just do the play that guarantees us something good. Rashida didn't flip? But why? They just run HQ and they run the remote. Yeah, maybe that is okay. Maybe Rashida and flip is okay. Rashida is way better here than NGO front is. But actually we do have high profile target. This. I think we throw out the Rashida. Because now they ran. So they install cards or do anything like that. We can always do pop this. I guess IPO is the terminal. So maybe that was actually the right thing to throw out. Because we could have installed Rashida high profile something. Hard hitting news. Okay, they have that. Earth Station shell game. Yo, there are Earth Station trap decks. It's a real thing. There's literally dozens of us. Trebuchet. Okay, that doesn't do anything. They have a Black Orchestra in the bin. Could scored an agenda. Okay, Mouseless and Archives is just good enough. Oh. Why is that not face up? What? That's goofed. Weird. So probably throw out the Trebuchet if they posture here. The Mouseless lines up pretty well against Black Orchestra. Prompts have changed for most assets. Yeah, that seems like a new prompt. If I res it first, it would have been fine. I think that's normally what we do. But you usually not need to. Oh, wow, that's influence. It's a 50 card deck. That's only 2 influence. That's good. They'll get their accesses in. You can fire them without resing now. You can't do that in Netrunner. Why do they let you do it in this? Paragon? So they can scry? That's good with a 50 card deck, I guess. See more, see further. They know the top card of our deck. They gained a credit. If they play something expensive here, we could hard hitting use them, but oh, okay, well that's the opposite of playing something expensive. Oh, okay. Can we build a fucking Crisium grid? We probably want that on Archives, don't we? I feel like our ice placement's backwards. Crisium grid on Archives is like fine probably in this matchup, but I feel like we can just make it taxing enough where her ability isn't relevant. This one HQ is probably good enough. Just because I'm worried about Apocalypse. But Paragon doesn't seem like Apocalypse. Presumably it's the same bug that causes agenda abilities to be usable while installed. Whoa! Sick value, really? That's awesome. I'm gonna abuse that. Make my new HB deck. Career fair? Pulling out the daily cast. Good stuff. All right, now our ice placement is an absolute salad. All right, we're just building up. We could have drawn there. We didn't need a hedge fund. Okay, so we do have tech for that. We can consulting visit if we do draw into it. And they are accessing. We have more money than them, but if we threw all our money into them, we're not going to recover that war, and they can just clear the tags. Paragon, that's good value. We need a piece of ice here for sure. And turning wheel. Our ice placement for turning wheel is okay. They can't really bounce off of these without taking damage. Surveyor again, like, oh man. Ice placement seems really rough. Do we have anything to La Costa? No, we can Consulting Visit to trash this. I don't think we necessarily need to. We can just put this on R&D so it's harder for them to get value. And I don't know, put this into remote. It's probably fine. We're not flipped. Huh? Oh. Right. Server 1 already existed. If they trash this, it's probably okay for us. Like, it doesn't, we could have flipped, but we didn't have enough clicks on the turn. This is only just 4 credits to go through. At least Atlas doesn't have Link. So it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Spoilers. Okay, that's getting interesting. Trope. Okay, this deck got a bit more interesting. They have access to Paperclip and Black Orchestra. We should have known one of those already. Reversed accounts. Okay, so now we're going to do the old flip. We'll draw for an ice here. No. Flip. Okay. So we slowly put counters on here. I think you need a way to flip. It usually costs us too important. Okay. Well, we flip now at least. And it looks like they might be a bit dirtily, but like this is, I'm interested that they're actually running like aggressive run-based stuff on top of like dirtle. Like these two are like really slow do nothing cards. Chisel, okay. That's fine. We'll res a Surveyor. So this is fine. So those are 2 trace 2s. This one we could boost and actually it would stick. I don't feel like we have the economy to start throwing money at them, and I feel like the end of the run doesn't matter too much. It stops the Paragon credit, so it's actually only 1 to get through this. 3. I have an Earth C trap deck. Zareth. Why do people love trap decks in Earth? That's what I never understand. Like, it's hard to run the remote. Why would you put traps in it? You won't put them out in the open. I think CU needs explored. Oh, they didn't boost it. Okay, cool. They do get turning with counters. All right, free counters. Free real estate. Afshar on the remote. Good enough, right? Good enough. I feel like if they ignore this, it'll be a problem for them. Because eventually we'll do like the huge hit. Like next turn we can do advance, pop, they lose 12, hard-hitting news. Stargate, okay, we have Chrisms for that. Oh yeah, this dies. Excuse me, I totally forgot this dies. Never mind. Oh, and it doesn't die this one, it dies the next one. Huge, excuse me. Just getting back, is this Iceless remote deck? No. No, this isn't. Fire all unbroken. Well, they're gonna get buried. We don't even have to advance this harder, and then we just put a Chrism on R&D, I guess. What do we have here in Mouseless? Trace 2. That's fine. They could just bounce here and come back and trash it. But then they don't Stargate. Then they shouldn't have Stargated, yeah. Okay, so we need to draw an ice here, but they have control of what we're going to draw. Do we have a preemptive? Yeah. Paragon? This is going well. Yeah, this is going okay. Hard-hitting news. Okay, they probably want to trash that. Reversed accounts, false lead. Okay, there's actually some good choices here. You could have reversed accounts HHN, right? That turn? That turn we probably could have. They trashed the hard-hitting news. Why is this on top? Weird. Snares keep them on edge about running centrals in my deck. So now this just gets trashed so they can get more accesses and they actually can steal the false lead if they want. Yeah, they're gonna get buried. So they trash reverse accounts. Wow. What goes to value? They're at 3 credits and they just saw hard-hitting news, so they're probably feeling really comfortable here. Okay, well. We draw an unknown card. So we're just gonna res this. I don't even know if we needed to. So we'll hard-hitting news. So I think we'll just put this on R&D. And then just throw the news at them. We have Consulting Visitor for boom, or we have high profile targets. So the chance of them getting out of this seems incredibly low. We can even res the Chrism and still be on 7, which we only need 6 to pull our combo if we need a boom. Wow, we win? Not just yet. Not just yet. Running here. I don't think we care about this. Oh, that's apocalypsing us? No, we don't care about that either. Yeah, they're done. Alice, we'll throw out Costa, it's fine. Plascrete? Yeah. We can actually get through Plascrete. We can do... Oh, we can't get through Plascrete, can we? We can do 7 damage. No, we could do 8 damage. We only have 1 in our deck. If we had 2, we could do 16 damage. But we can actually get through Plascrete? No, we couldn't. If they played it, yeah, maybe. I think we'll just Res an Afshar here. I don't know what I'm scared of. They click for credit? Oh no, it's Paragon. Yeah. I don't know, maybe when you see Lacosta, you don't expect the punishment, but they saw hard-hitting news. They're just very confident about this. They're not even going for a Stargate. I think you should Stargate here. Maybe you see 2 first and then you Stargate? I don't know. They can't trash anything. It just forces out to Resocrisium. Maybe they thought it was something else. 2 games in a row with HPT? Yeah. Oh, HHN maybe? They're just going back. They can convert their turning wheels into some axes, but there is no government takeover in this deck. All right. Hey, another false lead. Nice. Gotta advance something. Hey, good game. Thanks for the game, eh? Yeah, we had all the options in our hand. We got pretty lucky with that draw, considering we didn't see much. But the deck has 2 consulting, so we just need to draw one of them or one of their 2 punishment cards. So it's like 4 and 30 at that point. We didn't need Lacosta, but it looks cool. They spent a lot of money. They saw the hard-hitting news. At that point, I think it was hard for them to recover. But yeah, that'll do it. All right. Well, cool. Interesting. I want to play more Earth Station. I really do. I don't know if it's more competitive than some of the other options. I think the agenda suite for maybe you just play SDS drone deployment. Maybe that's interesting. But I think the agenda suite for without SSL for the outfit deck's got a bit more tricky. I'm really excited to see what the meta looks like. But hey, that's all for tonight. But we'll be back on Saturday playing Nemec. We're going to have some new cards to look at. We're going to be playing that on Saturday night with Pat and Nemec. So hopefully you can tune in for that. We'll be starting to stream around 10:30, I believe, on Saturday morning Eastern Standard Time, EDT. I guess EDT. Yeah, I think that's how it works. But that's largely it. After that, we'll be streaming for a couple hours on Saturday. I'm pretty excited for it. I got to build some decks tomorrow night. Because there's a lot of cards. I also get to design a card if I want to. I don't know what to do. I can't figure it out. Does anybody have any good ideas? Is it EST, Jimmy? I've been told it's EDT right now because it's like it has to do with the savings. ET. I'm just gonna call it ET. More Virus Shaper. A lot of the Virus Shaper cards got tuned, so they're less strong. But I'm definitely gonna play Virus Shaper. I think there was one big change to that, like that dress one that was like attach it to a program, use virus counters to like be able to break subroutines. So I just put it on Deus Ex. I think at this point now it can only do that once per encounter, which makes a lot more reasonable. But yeah, there's been changes to old cards too. There's some really exciting stuff. I want to play that NBN one again. That one seems really fun. The one where you show the top card of your deck. That seems really cool. I'm excited. Anywho. If you have any card ideas, you gotta let me know real quick because we gotta get those in very soon. But we'll be there on Saturday. That's largely it. Again, if you want to sign up for Worlds, I highly recommend. Registration is open. I know maybe you're not a competitive player. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So much of this is just hanging out with other people that care about the same sort of stuff. You'll meet people. It'll be a lot of fun. There's so many side events. Do join if you can. Registration is open. That's only in a couple weeks from now. And I think that's largely it. We'll be back on Saturday and then probably the Thursday after that. Definitely the Thursday after that. And everyone we played games with, good game. Thanks for playing. Everyone who's hanging out in chat, everyone who's watching the VOD, hopefully you're taking care of yourself. Hopefully you're having a good time. Enjoy the fall. The weather's getting nice, at least around here. That's all. Take care. Ciao.